Live from the basement of Cleveland, the baseball team, it's the Basement Benchwarmers podcast.
The Basement Benchwarmers in the basement of the baseball team from Cleveland. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, Chief Wahoo died this week.
Chief Wahoo is gone.
Rest in peace.
He died last year. They were just the Indians. They took that away.
So we're all here. Glenn's in the studio with us tonight. Willie's at home. Eric, Ed, Glenn, myself, and Willie. So let's start with Willie and I. Willie, what'd you have to do this past week?
This last weekend, I went on the Ed Wurzbicki Christmas light tour on Saturday night. It was a nice guided tour. I listened to everything that, watched his video and what he talked about. Only thing I didn't do was get that pizza. You needed a car like you guys did, though, but had a good time.
Okay. Nice. And since Glenn's in, Glenn, what'd you do this past week?
Nothing. It was a pretty lame weekend. I watched the walk. I actually got to see the Dolphins game. It was a great game, but obviously the outcome isn't what I wanted. But yeah, I actually got to see it.
Nice.
Through Sunday ticket. Yeah.
Okay. And then Ed.
I don't really remember. Wait a second. I don't know. On Saturday night, we were in the Christmas spirit. Laying around watching Die Hard and had a few too many eggnogs. After Amber passed out, I was like, you know what? It's time to make my move. So about halfway in, like about 24 seconds in, I noticed the elf on the shelf was filming us. Yeah, and then it got really weird.
Must have had to get the zoom lens. Okay, Eric, follow that up, please.
Well, speaking of Die Hard, so I had a pretty decent week. Obviously today, Christmas come early today. As a Bucks fan, we all know that. But I've been faced.
They extended Middleton?
Yeah, they extended him into a better player.
Yeah,
a twice max.
The bell's back. We didn't have it last week at all. Go ahead.
But so I'm just, I have this dilemma every year in my job when I'm talking to customers or emailing with customers on what to say. Do you say Happy Holidays? You say Merry Christmas? And it's frustrating sometimes because you don't want to make the wrong move. So I decided today I'm just going to use this other holiday saying, and I just say, Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Okay.
I had a weird reaction to it from a couple people, but for the most part, it went over pretty well.
But for the most part, it was it was a hit.
We'll start Eric's GoFundMe next week for when he's unemployed.
It was kind of weird because all the Jewish people didn't get it. Because it's Hanukkah, get it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So,
hey Scott, what'd you do this weekend?
I don't know what I did. I can't even remember. My son graduated from college, so. Jared.
Congratulations, Jace.
That happened. I don't know what else happened.
The virtual ceremony went well.
The virtual ceremony.
I saw a little bit of it.
It was. I'm glad we didn't have to go to one.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. It took forever, and we saw his name on the screen, and we pretty much we left.
Yeah, nice.
So that was my weekend. Watched football on Sunday, like pretty much everybody else, with nothing else to do. So. But that was what I did. Tonight's show, we're going to have the cocktail of the week. This week it's Eric. It's December, so we're doing cocktails, not beer. Eric's turn for the cocktail.
We already had a few.
Ed's going to have a shower stall. Our fan poll this week is a favorite Xmas song, and then our snake draft will follow that with our favorite Christmas songs. NBA preview we'll talk about. We'll talk about our picks, NFL recap. Ed has some Jeopardy questions. We have a top 10 and maybe a little MLB news also, and a special treat from me to the guys will be coming up in a while. So first thing we're going to start off with tonight, we'll start with the Giannis. We will talk about Giannis. Eric talked about that for a second. So Giannis is in the building for 5 years, or at least 5. I mean, he could get traded before that, but I'm going to say he's going to be here 5 years, maybe longer. So Giannis is back in Milwaukee. That's great for Milwaukee. He's one of the best players in the NBA. It's nice to see him stay. I'm happy to see it. There's a couple things we talked about before the show, and the first thing I want to bring up, and it's been kind of out there. James Harden is interested in leaving Houston, and one of the teams on his short list is Milwaukee. The question I have, and we're not going to talk about the money or what they would want or nothing like that. Let's just talk about this. Would you want James Harden in Milwaukee?
I'm going to have to say no. I just think that he's. I know he does rack up the assists, but he's still a very selfish player. I don't know if it would fit in the rhythm. The rhythm of what he does, I don't think fits in well with what we have with Giannis, and what we have with the 3-point shooters. So I just don't see it as a good fit. I really don't. I don't really like him, and I know that him and Giannis don't like each other. So that's another thing. I'm surprised that he actually says that Milwaukee's on his short list. I don't know how the money would work, although you kind of explained to me if it was Middleton in the deal. But, I mean, how long would he even be here? It'd be like a quick, probably a 1-year rental type of thing.
I think I could be wrong, but I think he has 1 year left. So it'd be this year, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And obviously, if it was 2, you have him play the full run with you. Or maybe not. Maybe trade him next year. You sign and trade him next year. I mean.
Well, I'm sticking to my answer, which is no.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Ed?
Well, with only 1 year, I mean, I don't know. Is it not a bad way or a good way to get rid of Middleton's contract? Kind of. You'd have Harden for 1 year. They could be a dynamic duo. It'd be tough to cover anybody out there with him running around dropping threes. And
I don't see how Harden would give up being the focal point, though, of the offense. That's the part that I don't like. I think Giannis should be the focal point. I mean, I don't know.
Willie? Can't hear you, Willie.
I don't think he's with us.
Can't hear you, Willie.
Willie is no longer with us.
he's getting his diaper changed.
Wait, hold on. A powder, now lotion. Oh, the little tickle. Sean is
Did
great.
he just spit in a bucket?
What was he doing?
He just spit in a bucket.
He's on a Zoom, so.
I changed my headphones out.
Okay.
Okay. He's
Here he is.
So what do you heard us talking? You heard the whole conversation?
Yeah, I heard.
Okay.
I heard that. What I'm thinking about, I think about all the teams that Harden's played on and different teammates, and they're supposed to have some really good teams there, and it's just never panned out for him. I mean, it seems like anytime you talk about Harden, there's not enough basketballs for the team, right?
For me, we talked before the show. The one thing I did say was that with Harden, you won't be able to play 3 across free throw line anymore against Giannis, and when it comes to playoffs, and also arguably because he did play with Durant when he was younger, and Harden wasn't the focal point. But this will be the best player he's played with since he's become more of a polished pro. So I don't know if that would be beneficial for both of them. I don't know. I just think Harden is what the Bucks offense is lacking, and that's consistency besides Giannis. I really do. They have nothing besides Giannis. Middleton's 12 points tomorrow, and then he will put up 50 one night. Then the next night he disappears. But the one thing Middleton does, he does play better defense than Harden. Then again, 99% of the NBA plays better defense than Harden, so that's my problem because you do have to play defense in the NBA, and I don't know. I'm in between. If you're giving up guys like Middleton, I do agree with Ed. You get to get rid of that contract, and that's a thing that is it really handcuffing? No, because Middleton is a, I would say, a second-tier player in the NBA. He's not a Giannis level player or LeBron or guys. We all know that. But he was an All-Star a couple years ago, or 2 years in a row. Well, he would have been probably again. So he has good qualities, but I just don't think he has that finisher-type mentality. Yeah, which he really isn't the finisher. I get it. But you need a guy like that, I think. I don't know. That's just mine. I get what Eric's coming from. I really do.
Well, one thing, too, we have not seen what Drew Holiday is going to be on this team. I mean, we're forgetting about him. We brought him in. He's a big-time player. He's probably a top 20, 25 player in the NBA. So we haven't even given him a chance yet, and we're talking about Harden. If Harden comes in, he's taking the ball out of Drew Holiday's hands. He's taking it out of his hands. I mean, Drew Holiday's a point guard, and he's going to create shots, and he's going to create shots for other people, and control the offense. That's what I know about him. And defensively, he's going to be the leader out there. So we haven't even given him a shot yet. So I don't know. Again, that's you bring Harden in. What does that do to Drew Holiday? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it changes things there. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
The biggest thing, what's it going to take to get Harden?
Yeah, that we talked about it earlier, and I know one thing they would have to have Middleton, DiVincenzo, and DJ Wilson be involved because I did see that. That is a pretty much even for even money grab right there, trade off of money. But Is there first-round picks involved, which the Bucks don't have many right now. So they would have next year's, I believe, to give away if they wanted, which is 2021. But after that, I think the next 2 or 3 years, they don't have many more. So I don't know. I mean, a three-way deal could be possible. I mean, there's so many different ways, but the money is just a problem. I mean, I believe Harden's going to set to make $30 million this year, 31 or something like that. So I don't know. It's just it's one of those things. I'm fine with the team makeup now. It'd just be interesting to get to see Milwaukee have a big three. That's what I'm kind of looking at. I mean, everybody else gets to have these shiny new toys and have this fun stuff, and Milwaukee doesn't have it because Middleton is not part of a big three. I don't think he is. I think it's Holiday, I think it's Giannis, and it's Middleton, but it's not. He's not even a great. He probably might be better at third wheel than a second wheel. I guess. But we'll see. I agree with Eric. Don't mess with what has worked, and you added a part that's better than the part you took away from Bledsoe. No offense to Bledsoe, Jrue Holiday is better than Bledsoe. We all agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Hands
right
down.
from the get-go.
Hands down. We agree with
and
that.
Middleton's a nice player, but I think the contract screws up our perception of what Middleton is. The contract is way too big for who he is. I mean, I think he's a decent player.
Well,
and he actually, and I know 2 years ago he was nothing. He was just a wee little man in the playoffs 2 years ago. But actually, this year he did step up in a few games and had some nice games. But
what does Harden do to the chemistry? Because I haven't seen a lot of good things.
He's
about
an
him from a team
egomaniac
player.
too. That's the other thing. But aren't they all?
Yeah.
Can I propose a radical idea here? Trading Giannis. No, hear me out now. He's got a 5-year contract, so he's at his maximum worth right now. He's in his prime. You could get more for him right now than you ever could.
Except the teams have to take that contract. You know what? We're supposed to be celebrating the Giannis Supermax extension right now, and we're talking about Harden, and we're talking about trading him. And I think
one of us is talking about trading.
Today is a good day. I think today is a good day for Bucks fans. Today is a good day for Milwaukee. The ownership in Milwaukee have to be just a collective sigh of relief because he just all the money that they invested into the Fiserv Forum and the whole the Deer District and all that, it's there because of Giannis, and now he's there another 5 years. Hopefully, it would be Ed wants to trade him, but what?
No, now with all this extra money, he can buy his own.
And it means people are going to keep coming, because they want he's the show.
And the last thing I'll add to that is that the Bucks, we talked about this before, the only thing the Bucks swung and missed on was opening a new stadium with having Giannis on the team. Because if you open a new stadium, you don't need a star. They'll come the first year just to hang out.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
And then basically you filled the stadium that you could have filled the Bradley.
And they had the best record in the NBA that year.
Yeah, so,
exactly.
But hey, I agree with you. They need to keep filling that stadium, and if you lose Giannis, it would have hurt. And I mean, he's there for 5 years, and I think that's we'll see what happens in the next 5 years.
Well, and now we have 5 years to really, obviously, and hopefully things just work out from the get-go and we can win a championship right away, but things don't work out. You keep tweaking, and players will want to come to play with him because he takes a lot of pressure off players, a lot of pressure. So
yeah.
I think it'll work out eventually. I mean, obviously the ultimate goal is to get to a championship, but we're going to be in it. We're going to be in the mix every year that he's here.
Oh, yeah, he's going to give you... You're going to be a top 3 seed in the conference every year.
Yep.
Unless something crazy happens. Real quick, MLB, Cleveland Indians, as we talked about, is taking their name away. This year they'll stay, the Indians, and the next year they'll be moving everything away from that. Any thoughts on another team having to change their name? I mean, I said this a few months ago when the Redskins said, screw it. I think eventually everything's going to be just known by their city. It's the easiest thing to do. Chicago, Milwaukee, Green Bay, Seattle, whatever. It's going to be Seattle, and that's it.
L.A. times 3.
L.A. times 3. The L.A. with the N next to him and the L.A. with the A next to him. That's what it'll be.
I think you're going to start seeing more of this in all facets of your life going forward here, too, is this isn't pressure from the fans or from an Indian tribe. This is pressure from corporate America. This is big business, the Amazons and those type of places putting pressure on them. We won't buy your product or sell your product. And you're going to see that in more places in your life, too,
Yeah, but above that, though, it's the Karens that are putting the pressure on corporate America.
I think maybe.
You really think Jeff Bezos cares what a football team's called?
No, I don't. But he has the ability to put pressure on people.
Absolutely, because if he thinks he's going to lose business because he sponsors a team called the Indians, then of course he's going to put the pressure on to make that change, so he doesn't lose.
And I think you're going to see it everywhere. You're going to start seeing it in your daily life for everything you have to do. Oh, you can't have that book, because corporate America doesn't want you to have that book, or whatever it is.
And then the checkpoints to make sure you have your COVID immunization card, and then the stars for.
And it's going to all be done by corporate America.
That was Nazi. Sorry.
No, it's all going to be done by corporate America. This
Were we
is not
talking
gonna
about
be done-
baseball?
No, but yeah, the Indians. Beautiful.
Ed, do you have a couple names in mind for the Cleveland?
The first one I came across was the Steamers, but nobody really liked that one.
I like it.
So I heard one today on the sports radio show. What's the Cuyahoga River that's right there has been on fire 11 times. It's caught fire because of so much chemicals going in and stuff like that. So everybody's like the Cleveland burning river.
So let me ask you a question.
You do know the Randy Newman song they played in Major League, Burn On Big River?
Burn on Big River. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So if the river has it happened recently?
I don't know. It goes back to the 1800s.
Yeah, I believe it's mostly like in the 70s.
Back when they were
back when people didn't have regulations.
I was going to say we're just surprised they were worried about on team of name and the river's on fire across the road. That was just a question.
It's like America. America's on fire, and
we're worried about the Indians.
I had that last time it caught on fire was June 22nd, 1969.
That's what she said.
69. I like it.
That's what she said.
There it is. There it is.
So a little more baseball talk. The All MLB team this week, this year was announced. Catcher Salvador Perez, Freddie Freeman at first, DJ LeMahieu, second base, Tatis at short, Manny Machado at third, Mookie Betts, Trout, and Soto in the outfield. Ozuna will be your DH. Bieber, Bauer, Darvish, Max Fried, DeGrom, and your relievers are Hendricks and Anderson. The big story is DJ LeMahieu looking for $25 million more from what he's being offered by the Yankees. I believe it was around 4 for $80, and he wants 5 for $110 or something like that. So I think it's just his. He's 32 years old, I believe. I could be wrong, but that's a lot of money for a guy. I'm going to call this now. DJ LeMahieu is in a territory becoming Daniel Murphy. He's going to go that route. He's still going to be good, but he's not going to be worth that much money. He's just going to start becoming a 280 hitter. He's not going to be his 3. I don't think he will be. But I will still say, we talked about this last week, I love to see him on the Cubs. So he'd be a great leadoff hitter. So what do you think about DJ LeMahieu? Anything on LeMahieu wanted that much money?
Well, he has been hitting, ahead of like 7 All-Stars. So, I mean, that does help. Yeah. He's going to see some pitches. But
and that's a great point. I mean, that is a great point. So, sorry, Willie, go ahead. Willie?
Yeah, he ended up going to the Dodgers then, right?
They did. The Dodgers are our team. Yep, you are correct.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And what was an interesting thing you saw today on the Dodgers that you shared?
Yeah,
a
lot of the fans aren't happy with Lux. I mean, I was quite surprised. I was reading the comments, and they were pretty much bad-mouthing him. He's never showed anything at the big league level. He had those couple weeks 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This year everybody had a down year.
Yeah, I mean Yelich.
Didn't he have COVID too?
Yeah, he had COVID to start, I believe, and then you know what? Send us. Let's build a team. We'll take Javi Baez. We'll take Yelich. I'll take Lux.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Throw me who's other?
How are we getting Yelich? I don't understand.
JD Martinez. All these guys that had crappy years that everybody's so down on. I'll take most of them.
Yeah, we'll fit them in.
Somebody's due for a bounce back.
Exactly. Yeah.
We'll get him at a bat or two.
Yeah.
Everybody had a down year.
Bring Schwarber back.
Watch, he's going to have a big year.
Yeah,
you watch.
He just might.
That 320.
Yeah.
37 home runs,
average,
100 RBIs, 17 steals.
Well, David Dahl.
Gold glove.
David Dahl just signed for $3 million 1-year contract with the Rangers, which is a good spot for him to land.
Oh, yeah.
But $3 million 1 year? Brewers or Cubs didn't even think about David Dahl?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Oh, the Brewers.
Did I just say the Brewers?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you're right about the Brewers. They're penny. I mean, they're always looking to be at
Dude, that guy's an all-star. For $3 million, he's in his prime. I don't get it.
Well,
he's injury prone,
but still, he hits the ball, man.
$3 million, we might be able to scrape that together and get him to come over here and play wiffle ball.
I think I got that right here.
I was just going to say, Glenn's got that in his wallet.
Check the Benchwarmer balance.
So, what kind of we left the NBA for a minute, but we'll kind of talk about the NBA real quick. The season starts next Tuesday, the 22nd, and just real quick, we're going to talk about a few. Maybe just we'll start with Eric, but kind of give us if you have an idea. teams to look for, teams to watch, how you think it'll pan out, just whatever you want to talk about the NBA. Go ahead.
Well, I did a little homework here. So we have 72 games instead of the 82 as usual. They are doing a play-in tourney again. So if you're, I think it says 7th in the standings to 10th, then they'll do a little bit of a few extra games to decide who's the 7th and 8th seeds, just kind of like they did in the bubble.
So the participation trophy tournament?
Exactly.
Okay.
They're trying to get the players to stay out of the clubs. So good luck, Lou Williams. Yeah. So what I did is I just kind of looked at last year's standings, and in the East, I think it's pretty much the same 8 teams that are going to be in the playoffs. I did flip-flop a few teams. I do have the Bucks at the top, and I have the Heat right there. The Heat did lose Jay Crowder, which I think is a big deal because I think he's kind of he's, I don't know what you want to call him. He's kind of like a spark plug kind of player. He's a tough guy, and he kind of, the Heat took on that personality. Jimmy Butler's like that too, and he's still there, obviously. But the Nets, I think, are going to be a team to reckon with, just obviously because that talent is so incredible. Kevin Durant is just phenomenal, and if he's healthy and if Kyrie's healthy, I think they're going to be solid. I do have the Raptors falling a little bit. The Raptors have to play in Tampa Bay to start the season because you cannot have athletics in Canada right now. Pacers, I think, take a step back, although T.J. Warren, I think, is going to be a solid player. And I think the Magic are a team that, good young players, and if Aaron Gordon can stay healthy, I think they're a solid team. So that's my East. I think ultimately, obviously drinking the Kool-Aid of, with the Giannis contract, I think the Bucks get there this year on that side. If we're picking, maybe we're not picking. We talked about maybe picking next week, but yeah, that's who I got. I don't. Any comments on the East? You want me to go through the West? Or?
Yeah, go ahead with the West. Yep.
So the West, I think the West is crazy good this year. I had to take a couple teams out of last year because I think a couple teams really took a step up. Obviously, the Lakers and Clippers are still going to be great. And I think Clippers are taking a little bit of heat because they kind of failed, but they added Serge Ibaka, which is I think a huge deal. So I think they're gonna battle with the Lakers again. Nuggets are solid. I think Murray is an MVP candidate. They have Michael Porter Jr. and they have the Joker, which is a great player. The Suns are the team I think to look out for. So Suns now have Chris Paul. They have Devin Booker. They do have Jay Crowder, who I just mentioned. I think so. I got them as the 4 seed potentially. Mavs are going to be there. I think Luka is probably the MVP candidate that everybody's going to probably want to be the MVP. I think Giannis winning 2 years in a row, I think people will push to have Luka. Or my other MVP candidate is Damian Lillard, just because he's been a great player for years. And I have them battling out for maybe the 7th position. And then I think the Pelicans get in this year because they have Eric Bledsoe. No, they do have Bledsoe, and he's projected to start with Ball, so those are 2 point guards. And that's another thing I was going to bring up, and you were talking about Harden and Drew Holiday, because Harden really, he plays a lot of point guard. He's got to have the ball in his hand, and I think a lot of teams that have these multiple guys that could play, that are point guards that can start, and there's a lot of teams as you look through the NBA that have them. I think that's kind of a new trend right now. And then, because you brought up a couple weeks ago to me about Steph, we should trade for Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we just brought in Drew Holiday, and he's the point guard, and you're like, who cares? But the thing is, will these guys be able to play like Steph Curry? And will they be able to play without bringing the ball up? That's the thing. Like, does Drew Holiday can demand the ball? Would Steph Curry demand bringing the ball up? Giannis even brings the ball up, for Christ's sake. So. But anyway, that's just kind of my thing. So taking teams out from last year, I just think because they're dysfunctional, whether Harden's there or not, take the Rockets out. I think that's too much dysfunction. And the Grizzlies were in it last year. I think they're the other team that's out from last year in the West. So I hate the Lakers, hate the Clippers. I would love to see a team like the Suns or Nuggets get to the finals and be easier for the Bucks to win.
Did you mention Golden State in there anywhere?
I did not mention Golden State at all. And I think the loss of Thompson is too huge.
Okay.
Yeah. You think Golden State's going to... I don't know. I
don't even know who's on that team, but
Steph
I know
and Draymond Green.
And the guy they drafted is they say will contribute this year. I can't remember his name.
I'm picking them to screw up Eric's bracket.
Well, that could be. That could very well be. I guess it's an oversight, but That's how deep the West is. I mean, they have
Yeah.
10 teams that are going to be competing, I think. So
that play-in tournament, what'd you call it?
that's what they're calling it.
Participation trophy.
That might be pretty important because one of those teams might be able to...
It's going to be important in the West, but obviously the East, you're still going to have teams that are under 500, I'm sure. In the West, you're going to have 10 teams probably over 500.
Yeah, so the West could be a fun thing there.
Yep.
Willie, anything about the NBA?
I think Lou Williams is going to take a hit on his wings this year.
So, Eric, are you predicting a two-time LeBron James non-MVP rant?
Yeah, I mean, he's won enough MVPs. The
MVP this year will be Doncic.
I think that's
It's always a year after you should get it.
There's
That's
a
how the
camp-
NBA works.
there's
No,
a
seriously,
camp-
that's how the NBA
Yeah,
works.
and
Not
that-
that Giannis didn't deserve it, but it's always that back and forth. We say, well, you get a year, now we have another year like that, he'll get it.
I think his biggest competition, obviously,
Unless he gets hurt.
Obviously, is Giannis, and I think it's Lillard. I think Lillard's overdue for an MVP. He's been sensational.
Yeah.
He's a great leader. That team is a little. I think I got him 7.
So
So-
Bucks win the championship. Giannis doesn't get it. You don't think?
That possible.
I would sacrifice one for the other, and that'd be the
Oh, yeah,
championship.
absolutely.
And
I'm
he would
just
too.
saying.
He would too in a heartbeat.
If he could take the team all the way,
Yeah,
finally.
yeah.
The couple teams, I agree with a lot Eric said there with teams. The two teams that stick out, I don't know if you mentioned the Hawks at all, Atlanta.
No, I didn't
I
mention them.
think they're going to be in the playoffs this year. I think what they did in the offseason, they did a lot. They got a bunch of pieces to go with the team that almost will be like a Heat-type team that's going to be a bunch of guys that can play basketball that might be good. Because sometimes that too much star power kills you, and I'm not saying they're going to win it.
Who do you take out of that top 8 then?
Who's your top 8 again?
Well, Bucks, Heat, Celtics, Nets, Sixers.
I'm not
Raptors.
big on the Nets, and the reason I'm not big on the Nets is not because of Durant, but Kyrie Irving, man, he's a loose cannon.
He's a weirdo.
But I shouldn't take him out because even with I'm gonna say with the West. With that said, I think they make the playoffs the Warriors because of Curry. If he stays healthy, they're in just because of Curry. He's gonna get them there. The win, no, but Durant's gonna get you there. Who else do you have in that? I'm sorry, the list.
Yeah.
Who was the list you had? I'm sorry, the East.
Bucks, Heat, Celtics, Nets, Sixers, Raptors, Pacers, Magic.
Magic, I would.
Magic are deep. If you look at,
I
you
would
gotta
look
look at the
or
lineup.
even the who's the team before the Pacers? You said,
Raptors,
yeah, it just depends. It's
Tampa
weird.
Bay Raptors, baby.
But it's that play-in thing too. You don't know.
Tampa Bay's been hot
The
this
Hawks
year.
could play themselves in. That could happen too. I'm not saying they're not.
Well, I don't disagree with you on the Hawks. I just think when you put a team, it's a very new team now.
Yeah.
I think it takes a couple years then, and I see it. I mean, that's where our guy went.
And I think a team in the
Bogdanovich.
East that's going to be more competitive this year and not make the playoffs, but they will be. Well, it's going to be the Bulls.
Yeah, the Bulls have a nice lineup
with
too.
Billy Donovan there, and I
Yep.
think also I'll be surprised what the Knicks do this year with Tom Thibodeau there. I think the coaching does a lot, and I don't think don't get me wrong, the Knicks aren't, but the Knicks will be. I mean, they'll win some games this year. They're gonna do a little different. I think
Somebody has to finish last.
yes. And I'm not saying the Knicks won't, but they're going to be
But
a
they
better
might be
team.
better than
They're gonna
last
be a
year.
Better
They
team,
might be
yes.
better,
But
yeah.
I think the Bulls are a team that could.
Yeah,
you
I
never
like
know.
their lineup.
I
I
like
look at
Donovan,
them.
Billy Donovan. I like what they did with that. They've got Markkanen. If he had a down year last year,
Markkanen's good. They still have Zach LaVine.
Wendell Carter Jr. They
Yep.
have, so they're
Decent players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're decent. So, and in the West, it's just. I mean,
It's stacked. It really
the
is.
Lakers. I honestly don't think it's going to come one day, and it did with Kobe. You saw. I think LeBron will he start declining. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing you got to worry about. I mean, he's a monster, but eventually he decline. And I'm not saying he will or whatever, but we'll see. I mean, they're still with Davis and with Harrell, and they upgraded their team from what they had last year. They're actually better. They actually probably have a better lineup than
Well,
last year.
So yeah, they add Schrader,
Oh yeah,
which I think is a
Yeah.
really
he's better than Rondo.
way better than Rondo.
Yeah.
They lost, obviously they lost Rondo, but they lost Avery Bradley, who wasn't there for the bubble, but he was there in the regular season.
And he'll be back this year then, won't he?
No, he's on another
he's
team.
gone, okay.
He's on. Where did I see he went? I'm not 100% sure. They lost Howard, so they lost some of their backup, some bench, but
Okay.
So did Schrader come? Was he with Atlanta?
he was with Atlanta at first, but
And then it was Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma
Okay,
City last year.
I
Yeah.
was going to say, because if Atlanta lost him, wouldn't they be down a little bit, you'd think?
They haven't had him. They haven't had him
Yeah,
for a
he's
year.
been with Oklahoma City for a couple
Okay.
years.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just remember he was with Atlanta.
He's just a spark plug kind of point guard, real quick, and
So we'll be talking about the NBA next few. Obviously, as the season goes on, we'll talk maybe pick a game here or there. So many games we can't talk about every single one.
Yeah.
But we'll start following the Bucks more. as the season goes on. Their first game, I believe, is next Wednesday, the 23rd.
23rd, yeah.
Yep. Who they start out with?
I think Celtics.
Celtics. So good start to the season. So we'll see the new look Bucks with James Harden.
Are they in their stadium? They're in their stadium?
Yeah, they're playing in the stadium with no fans.
Yeah,
Yep.
playing,
Oh, and I did look through that. Most arenas, there's a couple arenas that are actually allowing some fans, like 500 people.
Oh.
Yeah, a couple arenas.
To clean up afterwards?
Yeah, exactly. But half of the arenas haven't even declared what they're doing yet.
Milwaukee had.
Milwaukee declared.
Milwaukee
yeah. And the LA teams declared that
Well,
they're not
Golden
going
State, for some reason, was they wanted to have like 30% capacity, and you can't play football in San Francisco. So I don't know how they're going to have people in their stadium. I don't. They had to go. I don't know. It was confusing to me. So whatever.
It's California.
I think that news came from JaVale McGee.
Their governor's in a recall. That's a different show, though, possibly. So let's step into how about the snake draft? First thing, let's talk about what our on our fan poll was your favorite Christmas songs, and I'll throw a couple out first, and then the other guys, if they had any, can tell me what they had. My first one from Mandy Cavilli Holzer was Little Saint Nick and Dominic the Donkey. Hee-haw, hee-haw. Jill Tisdale said Silent Night. Joel Cavilli said the Alabama album and the Oak Ridge Boys album. If you didn't listen to those Christmas albums,
the Alabama one's good.
Oak Ridge, but they're great albums. Sherry Ricardo said she totally agreed with Joe. Anita Gray Heath said Silent Night, Oh Holy Night. Nick Sturch said Last Christmas by Wham. Sean Olsen said the date rape song, Baby It's Cold Outside.
Yeah, it is.
Which it's not a date rape song. I don't know why people think that.
There was no date. It was just a straight rape.
No, but
don't they mention roofies?
See, here's the problem with our society.
Roofalin.
And when she says like, "What's in this drink?" she's probably asking, and we're such a cynical society. She's probably asking, "What kind of booze is in it?" Seriously, let's be serious. We're all thinking roofies. Were roofies even around in the 60s or 50s?
I don't know. Ask Bill Cosby.
Ask Willie. Were they around in the 50s? Willie, were they there in the 50s and 60s?
Yeah, they were. You just had to find them. They were hard to find.
Yeah. When was that song written?
So real quick,
find the guy in the trailer out there driving around.
A show of hands, and be honest. You think "Baby It's Cold Outside" is a bad song? Does anybody think it's a bad song?
I actually love that song.
Awesome song.
Okay, and when Elf sings it with, is that the song they sing in the bathroom?
Yes.
Well, that was close to a rape too, though. Actually,
Well, he was just speaking in the shower. That's okay.
Yeah,
He's an innocent elf.
He was playing the dumb elf role.
I like it.
I mean, there's probably
I gotta try that shit. Oh, sorry.
So, Eric, you didn't have any on yours? No.
I had it one like.
Oh, okay. Willie, did you have any?
I did.
What do you got?
So Tony Galliardo said, "Oh, Come All Ye Faithful" by the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
Oh, wow.
Carl Bradley and Matt Hoppenstead said The Grinch. Tim Colino says Blue Christmas by Elvis. And probably the best one I had on here, and I watched the video that was on here, it's called The Season's Upon Us by the Dropkick Murphys. You got to watch this video. It's awesome.
Whoa, we
just drop kicked it.
Nice.
First, Glenn, let's talk. You know what? Doesn't matter if you pick one of ours. Tell us your 4 favorite Christmas songs off the top of your head. Go ahead. If you match one of us, it
I
doesn't
get
matter.
2 off the top of my head is Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC.
Nice. I was going to pick that one too, and I didn't.
And I like the Hawaiian one, Melik Hiliki.
Oh, nice. And you're going to hear that coming up.
That's awesome.
So what we're going to do is we did before, guys. I got your 4 songs in like we did before. So you guys remember you were picked. When you hear it, name it and talk. And it's fast-paced, man. We're doing. I don't know. I'm snapping my fingers.
Not much to say. I mean, they stand by themselves.
So who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? Raise your hand.
I'll go first.
Okay, Ed. Here we go, Ed. This is Ed's favorite Christmas songs.
Pretty paper.
It's Willie Nelson.
There we go.
What's the name of the song?
Pretty paper.
Wrap your presents to your darling from you.
Jingle Bell Rock, of course, by Bobby Helms. It's an old one.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell swing and
This one's actually making a comeback.
It's one of my favorites.
bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
And everybody's favorite from Christmas Vacation,
Love it.
Mele Kalikimaka.
This is making a comeback. I see it a lot by Jimmy Buffett now.
Oh, yeah.
playing on the
I
radio.
heard the Jimmy Buffett
Yeah,
one.
it's pretty good. It's not bad.
On a bright
Bing's better.
Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway.
Another guy that beat his kids.
Here we know that Christmas
Daddy Dearest.
will
It's
be
called
green
Discipline.
bright, the sun to shine
the 40s, man.
The family guy. I'll beat you with some Valencia oranges. And
is the wise way.
Well, don't ruin this.
I played along for you this one.
Don't ruin Christmas.
Oh, here you go.
I just love Burl Lives, so.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas.
So those are Ed's favorite Christmas songs. Next up is Willie. Oh, little Frosty.
Happy birthday!
Frosty the snowman was a jolly happy soul.
Okay, this is by Jimmy Durante. Frosty the Snowman was on the cartoon we used to watch. We look forward to watching that every year.
Santa Claus coming to town, huh, Willie?
Yeah, that's by Gene Autry, former owner of the California Angels.
Of Anaheim.
All his reindeers pulling on the reins. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. So hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight.
Sleigh bells ring.
A little Louis Armstrong. I like it.
That's right. You can't go wrong with that song. You know, Winter Wonderland. I mean, you can listen to that song all year. So.
Snow is glistening. A beautiful sight. We are happy tonight. Walking in the winter wonderland.
Oh, a little Feliz Navidad. I like it.
Right, and it's, you know what? It's the 50th anniversary of that song. It was written 50 years ago by Jose. Actually, I met Jose Feliciano in the city of Flint one time.
Shut the front door.
Really?
Oh, yeah, sure did. I worked for the Downtown Development Agency. I took his, the mic fell out of his guitar. I had to drive his guitar all the way to Lansing, Michigan to get fixed by someplace.
Wow.
And I had to get it back before the show. But I made it with
awesome.
like 15 minutes to spare, believe it or not.
That's a great story.
Willie was a roadie back in the day. I like it.
I did a little bit of that.
So those are Willie's favorite Christmas songs. Willie, nice array of songs. I like it. Eric, are you ready to roll?
I was born ready. Well, the reason I picked this is because the Benchwarmers love the Bare Naked Ladies, and saw them in concert. But this song it's got just great rhythm, and then Sarah McLachlan comes in, and there's just the voice of an angel here in a little bit. Good Canadian folks here singing this song there, eh? God rest ye, merry gentlemen, Bare Naked Ladies, and Sarah McLachlan. Speaking of Bing Crosby and David Bowie, this one always gets me back in my childhood. It's got, Bing was really old at the time. Bowie was kind of in his prime. It's just kind of a good duet. It's got some nostalgia for me.
About a little boy.
You're funny, Ed. This one to me, this is the ultimate Christmas song, titled "The Christmas Song" by Nat King Cole. Enough said.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
1946. Remember that, Willie?
Being sung
I do.
Third birthday.
Dressed up
I don't know where I was at, but...
when it seems the man
This one's cheesy, obviously, but this just, as a father, just hanging out with Jackson and then hanging out with Logan now, watching Polar Express. And this is that big, impactful moment in the movie with when the kids are out there, and the kids sing this song, "Believe." It's just, it gets me every time.
So those are Eric's Christmas songs.
Never heard that one?
No.
So I'll finish. I'll bring up the rear.
That's what she said.
I don't know. So here are my favorite Christmas songs. This is Darlene Love, Marshmallow Worlds. One of the greatest albums ever, A Christmas Gift from Phil Spector.
Oh,
It's a
nice.
great album. If you haven't heard the album, listen to the whole album. It's a great Christmas album. He kills people too. This is the Oak Ridge Boys. This is called Santa's Song.
I never heard this one either.
I feel like I'm at a Burger in Paradise or something.
I've seen the Oak Ridge Boys live.
It's a great album. My next one's going to be one we all know from the movie Home Alone. It's the Drifters and Christmas.
It's an awesome song.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Is that what I said, Home Alone?
Isn't he shaving in the bathroom? And he's
Yeah, yeah. And he puts that lotion, the aftershave on it. Yeah. And my final song is going to be from one of the better bands of all time, the Jackson 5, and then Santa Claus is Coming to Town. That's a little Michael Jackson.
And Jermaine.
Before his balls dropped.
Yeah.
And Jermaine. And Tito.
And Tito, yeah, the whole five.
It is weird that Michael Jackson followed Macaulay Culkin singing this.
So, yeah, like I said, if you guys never heard that Christmas Gift from Phil Spector album,
I gotta
Christmas,
check that
it's
out.
great. Oak Ridge Boys, Alabama, great Christmas albums also.
Anne Marie Christmas is a good one.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I like all Christmas songs. Oh, I do want to say this, though. I was pointing out last week when we talked about Christmas songs we don't like, and I couldn't think of one.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Jankowski was going to text me because he saw it. He's not on Facebook. He was going to give me an answer, but he didn't have a chance. And I 100% agree with him on this song. 12 Days of Christmas is a terrible Christmas song.
It is bad. It is bad.
So I will say that it was one song, unless the Muppets are doing it, or it's the Bob and Doug McKenzie, the funny version, the Beers or whatever.
Yeah.
The Muppets one is pretty funny, but if it's the actual straight up legit,
it's just a weird.
terrible.
It's outdated.
Yeah, it's so
It's horrible. I was going to do the Burger King Christmas.
Ding, president.
Yeah.
They brought that back in the commercial.
I know
this year.
they gave it a little in the background. It was great.
So you have two more, Glenn?
Yeah, since you were playing those and you caught me off guard, really, really love seeing Trans-Siberian Orchestra around this time of year.
Oh, have you seen them?
2 times.
I want to see them so bad.
Yeah,
Them
I'd like to
or Mannheim Steamroller.
Yeah, so...
Two of my favorite Christmas background music because they're just obviously musical. But yeah.
Well, there's some singing in it.
Yeah,
But,
Those are cover bands.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Christmas Canon and Christmas Eve Sarajevo 1224. The Sarajevo one is probably the one everybody knows. They're awesome Christmas songs.
Anything by Tchaikovsky from the Nutcracker, pretty good.
Yeah, good stuff.
You said Nutcracker.
I mean, we didn't talk. I mean, I don't know if we're going to do maybe albums next week.
Oh, we're going to do Christmas TV shows.
Oh, TV shows.
Specials.
Oh, the okay. Well, I mean, my honorable mention.
Specials.
Dukes of Hazzard Christmas.
Yeah, what'd you say, Willie?
I said the back to school special. Remember
Yeah,
that?
there we go.
ABC Afternoon.
Yep.
I mean, what's the album you guys always put on? I mean, just let it roll like a whole. I mean, you talked about the Phil Spector. Mine's a James Taylor Christmas album. Just kind of, he just rolls. I mean, he plays all the classics.
Spector or any Mannheim Steamroller.
Yeah, I love
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I could picture the Mannheim Steamroller. I mean, they have multiple Christmas albums.
Mm-hmm. The Cleveland Mannheim Steamrollers.
There you go.
We solved it. Yes, we solved it.
And you got cheerleaders.
And did you mention? Did somebody say Anne Murray?
Yeah, Anne Murray.
Anne Murray's awesome.
That's what I remember from my childhood. Was my mom always put on Anne Murray.
The Carpenters.
Yeah, the Carpenters Christmas song.
Linda Ronstadt.
I'm going to tell you right now, the best Christmas music, 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Yes.
Hands on. After that, there is a couple, like Ariana Grande has a Santa song. It's pretty good. I like. There's a couple new ones, but like the remakes, like John Legend is god-awful at making Christmas songs. He wants to remake them into being about everything that's... Just quit doing it.
Yeah, stop
You're
it.
terrible. Write your own songs, because he's god-awful at it.
Nobody had any Frank Sinatra. And Frank's got a great... Just put on Frank's greatest hits, Christmas hits. You can listen to that all night. Will, you going to be okay?
Yeah, I just blew my brain up. Sorry, guys.
Okay. No Frank Sinatra tonight.
No Frankie.
Bing's the king of Christmas.
Any honorable mentions,
Frank, I think.
Oh, yeah. I say what? You got to go with Dean Martin, for Christ's sake.
Oh, baby, it's cold outside, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
It's been a couple
No,
minutes.
I love the Jimmy Durante one you put in, too. Jimmy Durante.
Oh, the Frosty
awesome.
Snowman's great.
Yeah.
Stands out so well. And somebody said, I think it was Hop, and somebody else said the Grinch.
The Grinch. I was going to pick that. I was going to pick the Grinch.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
an
we're
older
picking...
song,
Who's
too.
our winner? Who's our winner?
Our winner, let me see what we got here.
A couple people mentioned the Grinch.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. Kurt Barklow said the Don Henley Bells Will Be Ringing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good... Yeah, I like that.
But another one I was going to pick, and Bruce Springsteen, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. That's awesome, too. But it's all you can find is live, and it's a great live song.
Where he says, Clarence, you want a new saxophone?
Well, I watched a video, and in the beginning, when you hear... Ho, 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 in the beginning, it's Clarence Clemens doing it now. It's him, like, ho, ho, ho.
And
It's
the
awesome.
live version, Bruce is laughing in the middle. He's cracking up.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like... let's go with that, because Eric don't like the song.
What's
Nick
that?
Search, Last Christmas by Wham wins the night. How's that song, guys?
That's terrible.
There you go.
So, Nick, if you listen, give me a jingle and I'll get you a shirt, a Benchwarmers shirt.
I want a recount.
Yeah, that song's just
Last
awful.
Christmas, I gave you my heart.
Hey, I want to thank you guys for not picking any Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
I was going to, too.
What about Happy Xmas, War is Over by John Lennon and Yoko Ono? I never even heard that thing.
You know, I'm gonna let you guys hear a second of one song. Hold on
Got
one
you
second.
speechless right
Yeah,
now.
it's. I don't know if you guys ever heard it. Probably not.
Well, we'll just talk amongst each
We'll
other.
talk while I'm looking.
Do you like the Bare Naked Ladies holiday album or no?
Yes, I do.
Do they have a whole album?
Yeah, it's called it's Getting
Bare Naked
Naked.
Ladies Christmas.
Getting Naked for the it's called Getting Naked for the Holidays.
Okay, because I remember do you remember because that was with Sarah McLachlan, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember at the concert and they go...
Yeah, they were.
They're
Sarah
like,
McLachlan,
let's bring out
Sarah McLachlan, yeah.
And then they look back at the stage and just for like 10 seconds stand there staring. They go, it'd be really cool if she was here, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
There's some fun songs. I mean, they do a Jingle Bells where it's like real slow at first, and it's like real calm, and then they just go crazy. It's a really cool version of Jingle Bells on that album.
Okay, I found it. You guys ready?
It's that time of year again. Kool-Aid Man, you ready for Christmas? Oh, yeah. Yeah. All I really want for Christmas. All I really want for Christmas. All I really want for Christmas is everything on my list, baby.
That's that is twerking.
Wow, that's the first twerk on our show.
That is Little John. With all
Lil Jon.
Lil Jon.
Okay.
Featuring the Kool-Aid Man. I don't know if that's real.
I was going to say DMX, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so you got to admit that's pretty catchy. I don't know if you guys agree with that. Probably not.
No, I mean...
I like it a lot.
It's right up there with Christmas and Hollis.
Kool-Aid's a Christmas thing, right?
Yeah.
In some cultures.
Yeah, exactly.
And I do got to play this because I forgot about it, but you guys all love this, and it pays homage to my heritage, so...
We know this is going.
This is for Amy.
Hey, chickadee jing. It's Dominic the donkey. Chickadee jing. The Italian Christmas donkey. La la la. La 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 la. La 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 da da da.
I'll take the lasagna. And can you give me a couple of those meatballs? And cannoli, please. Oh, I thought I was in Tenutas.
You're listening to the Basement Benchwarmers podcast. Check us out on Facebook at Basement Benchwarmers, also on Instagram at Basement Benchwarmers, and on Twitter at Base Benchwarmers, and our email is basementbenchwarmers@gmail.com. So I have a surprise coming for you guys. Are you guys almost ready for it?
Yeah.
So before we get to my gift to you guys, we're going to go to the to Eric and his drink.
I like beer because it is good. I drink beer because I should.
When I'm drinking whiskey, I know nothing can go wrong. When I'm drinking whiskey, only time my mind is strong.
Well, I always liked brandy until I first tried whiskey, and now I like whiskey. But I did make a brandy.
This is whiskey?
I did make a brandy old fashioned. Southern Comfort is brandy.
Oh, I thought that was whiskey.
No, Southern Comfort is brandy.
Oh, well, my mistake.
No, it's okay. It's all good. I think we
swear I looked it up.
Yeah, Southern Comfort is a brandy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I believe it is.
I think it's a whiskey.
I'm looking it up.
Look it up now. Look
Willie,
it up.
Willie, what's Southern Comfort? A whiskey or a brandy? Nobody knows.
It stands alone. It's like Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
they kind of stand. They stand on their own.
It's a liqueur, actually. It's an American fruit flavored liqueur with fruit and spice accents.
I always feel like it's more of a brandy than a whiskey.
It uses whiskey as the spirit base.
Anywho.
Oh, see, whiskey is
okay, good. Well, you can edit. You can edit
Let's
that.
restart this whole.
Okay, start over.
Go ahead.
Start over.
Go ahead.
Anywho, so I mean, obviously, in the state of Wisconsin, we drink more brandy and brandy old fashions than anywhere else in the United States. So there's nothing exciting here about the brandy old fashioned, other than the fact that this is a great recipe from a good friend of mine, and she always said, "Hey, if you're having a Christmas party, this is the way to go." It's a pre-mix where you throw in the oranges and the cherries, and you actually put maple syrup in, shake your bitters in, and then dump a 1.75 liter of Southern Comfort all into a pitcher and let it soak for a couple days. And then when you have a party, all you have to do is pour and add some. We've been adding Fresca tonight, but you add your 7-Up or your Sprite or whatever, and you got a nice holiday old-fashioned. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. We've already had a few, so
Merry Christmas, fellas.
Merry Christmas, Willie.
Yeah, they're very tasty, very refreshing.
Willie, grab a towel. You're drooling.
I can tell. You can tell. Am I shutting out the mic?
He's been crushing Michigan IPAs. You don't have that guava one, do you? Oh, you bastard! You got to save me one.
I got one saved for you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so now I've hyped this up all night, and it's not going to be as good as
all night. It's
I do
want to
preface this. This is our 40th show. So 40.
Yeah.
Wow.
Woo.
One thing that came good out of COVID is this: we got to hang out every week, and everybody stayed healthy. So that's a good thing. But this is my gift to you. So for show 40 and the Christmas season, here we go. 'Twas the night before podcast, when all through the basement, nothing could be found, not even Willie's Fixident. The microphones were hung in the studio with care, in hopes that the show would be worthy to share. The listeners were nestled, all snug in their beds, while visions of Ed's shower stall danced in their heads. With Ed in his flannel, and I in my baseball cap, we were hoping Willie had taken his nap. When over by the bar, there arose such a clatter. It was Eric stumbling around, because too much bourbon does matter. Away from the mic, I flew like a flash. Ed stayed put because he could give a rat's ass. The light in the basement, on the freshly vacuumed floor, gave the luster a pre-show like never before. When what to my wondering eyes should appear, Glenn had snuck in and was drinking a beer. The beer that was gone was for Eric's beer tent. It didn't matter, because Eric had another six-pack. As we looked at the beers, we began to get a thirst. Willie and Eric were discussing which one would be first. Now ales and pilsners and IPAs are here. We also have stouts and porters, and that peasants drink domestic beer. As we cracked open the libations and began to taste, Ed and I realized Eric and Willie were on a frantic pace. We started the show with podcasting know-how. We were wondering if Willie had a Where Are They Now? As we finish the show during this holiday season, all the Benchwarmers give thanks for many reasons. From Eric, Ed, Willie, and Scott, the Benchwarmers all four. Merry Christmas to all, and here's to 40 more. So that was my gift to you guys. Merry Christmas.
This is just a real nice surprise, Clark. Real nice surprise.
Eric's got tears in his eyes. Oh, wait, that's from laughing.
Oh, that's awesome. I loved it.
Keeps on giving.
Yes. It's a major award. It is a major award.
It's fragile.
Wow.
Just think how much crap people had to listen to understand that song.
Yes. Hop will be the only one that
If you
really...
turn it off the first time, people are like, well, they're drunks. That's about all I got from that.
Yeah, I think it's an alcohol
The whole,
podcast.
pretty much, yeah, everything had booze involved.
I think it did. Do people understand that this is a sports podcast?
No, it's sports and other stuff. That's what it is. Other stuff.
Other stuff and sports.
It starts off sports, it ends up drinking, and then we just wander around at the end.
So, Merry Christmas, guys.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you,
awesome,
Scott.
Merry Christmas.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Nicely done.
Yeah, well, thank you.
That was beautiful.
It was fun to write. It was a good time. Let's go to the NFL. So this week we kicked off week 14, correct? Yeah, week 14 we're in, and we're going to start doing this. So not to our 7 fans out there. We're only going to talk about games that matter in the playoff races. We're going to get away from all the other games. There's no point in talking about.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, let's talk about games that only matter in playoff. Teams that are going to the playoffs, we'll talk about their games only or a playoff race. Is that good?
Can we still talk about the East?
Yeah, well, we have to.
Oh, no, I think the East is coming alive, man. There's 2 really good teams, I think. In the East.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, okay?
And maybe 3.
It's maybe 3. So the first game is the Rams-Patriots last Thursday night. The Rams go out and take the Patriots, take them to the woodshed, basically. Benched was Cam Newton. I don't know. They call him benched. They were out of it, whatever. I don't know what it is, but 24-3. Goff had a solid game. It just Cam Akers coming out party as a rookie. Finally got the carries he wanted for fantasy guys there. And N'Keal Harry, 349. But like the big story, Rams take a step into moving into a tie, and I believe they're leading that division now at 9-4 with Seattle.
Did we lose Willie?
Yeah, Willie. No, I hid Willie from us. There he is. He's back.
Willie.
Look at Willie. Where are they now?
That was the Bee Gees version or
That
something.
That was.
Oh, yeah, Heggs was talking about the Bee Gees.
Yep, there he is. Willie, you got any fun facts about the Patriots Rams?
You know what? I'm going to tell you, to be honest with you. No, I don't.
I do. Well, I'm going to go through the games. I got
Actually,
I got the playoff scenario set up. We'll talk about that after. Sorry, Willie, go ahead.
No, it's all right. Wrong team.
No, go ahead. Oh, okay. The Rams are getting scary, I think. They got a great defense. And I know last week we talked Saints, Packers. I think the Rams are right in that mix right now.
2 things that bode well, and people, I know there's sometimes what bode well in the playoffs: run the ball and play good defense. It bodes well, and with quarterbacks that can manage a game, which Jared Goff can manage a game, and they have good receivers, a couple nobodies, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods.
Solid team.
I'm just telling you,
if Goff can do it, he's proved it before. I mean, if he picks it up a little bit, they're gonna be tough to beat.
This is 2 years removed from them being in the Super Bowl, so
against those same Patriots.
Yep. And they took them. Yeah, you're right. They took them to the woodshed. In fact, I was listening to the show last week's show on the way over, and we were hyping up the Patriots because they won 45-0 last week, and then they just got a little taste of their own medicine there.
Yeah.
Cam Newton's not the answer.
Next game down here, Eagles, Saints. Eagles, kind of the Saints show. They really need Drew Brees. And Jalen Hurts secured starting job again this week. He'll be starting again. They have announced 24-21, Eagles win. and keep their hopes alive for a playoff spot at 4-8-1. And Saints are tied for the number one spot, but also the Packers have it due to the tiebreaker. Right. And we'll get to that also. I'll get to the whole thing. Willie, you got anything?
I do. Jalen Hurts is the first quarterback since at least 1950 to throw a touchdown pass and rush for at least 100 yards in his first NFL start.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's crazy to think of when you got Jackson and Mahomes and all these other quarterbacks in the league.
So Cowboys, Bengals, skip it. No, Cowboys are still involved. 4-9.
Skip it.
They won 37. Andy Dalton returns to Cincinnati and says, "You should have never got rid of me." No, I'm just kidding. That's not what he did, I don't think. But that's 30-7. Chiefs, Dolphins, nice game there. And I'm going to make the sound, but the Dolphins did lose. They started out great effort to start. But as we were texting back and forth during the game that day, the Chiefs played terrible and still won the game on the road. So
5 turnovers.
They're just... The two, he had 3 picks that day. One was his fault. The other 2 were just, one was a great play, the one-handed interception. Mm-hmm. The other one was just, the guy should have caught the balls in his chest. Right. The other one was just too high. That was his fault.
The same thing with Tua's interception, though. Grant should have had that.
Yeah, you are correct. Yeah. So
did the Chiefs score? They scored a couple like special teams touchdowns.
They had one punt return.
One punt return.
Hardman had a punt return in that game.
That game could have been different. I mean, they didn't kick a field goal at the end of the half. Miami didn't. They missed the field goal at the first drive. And then the safety, that's 7 points right there.
Was anybody watching? I don't know if the stats out there, but was anybody watching games that day? I watched Red Zone a lot. I haven't watched Red Zone this much in years because I usually go to games. There's so much going on, but nothing going on right now. So there was a ton of missed extra points and field goals.
A ton.
Yeah, it happens like in waves. Like week 2 or 3 was the same way. Then everything's great. Then all of a sudden, every game they're missing field goals, extra points. It was crazy.
No, I watched that Detroit game, and it was one after another.
Yeah,
there was a lot. I was going to say there was a lot in the Packer-Detroit game.
Yeah, and then what was the other? What was the other game?
Minnesota.
Yeah, the Minnesota game.
Dan Bailey. Dan
Bailey's.
Dan Bailey is on the
Benchwarmers hot seat.
Yeah, and Mike Zimmer, he had a quote today which was pretty sweet. No, I don't have it. It didn't.
Let's put Scott on the
Benchwarmers hot seat.
Yeah, something about basically Dan Bailey. It's time to be a big boy. I'm not going to coddle him. He missed kicks. That's his job. Blah blah blah. Something like that. It was a tweet. So even Mike Zimmer tweets. His hot girlfriend tweets for him.
Yeah, I'd tweet for her too.
I tweet her. Huh? What?
Whoa!
Hey!
Benchwarmers.
Hey, Scott, and former bear kicker
Cody Park had a rough night last night.
Yeah.
Sure
That's
did.
a shame.
That was a heck of a game.
Although I was rooting for the Browns. I really are. They're my de facto team in the AFC just because I like to see them do well. It's fun to watch.
The Dolphins were.
And the Dolphins. I'm not taking away, but I mean, I like Mahomes. I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on here. Cardinals go to New York, 26-7 winners. Kind of for the score. It was kind of just it wasn't on red zone much, so it wasn't much going on. It was a very, very boring game. But win, Cardinals. That's what they needed. 7-6.
Kyler Murray's really. He's been on a downward trend.
I think his shoulder
for about the last 4 weeks.
It's been his shoulder. His shoulder got hurt a couple weeks ago. So
I believe so.
It's screwed up. Yeah,
but to beat the Giants, we just were talking about how the Giants were
their defense. Yeah, and to be honest, though, that game was only I believe at halftime it was 13-0, and then I think it was 13-7 right to start the half. I believe Giants.
Oh, and the Giants did donut in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was just one of those weird games. It was weird. Vikings Buccaneers could have been a different game. Some field goals made. 26-14. Buccaneers win 8-5. Vikings drop down, tied with the Bears now 6-7. That's about all I'll say again.
Thank God.
Brady had a couple touchdowns. Yes, Willie.
I do. The 43-year-old Brady is the oldest player to throw 30 touchdowns passes in a season, breaking his own record set 3 seasons ago at age 40.
Wow. Broncos Panthers hard pass. Titans Jaguars 31-10. Titans keep rolling along. Henry killed me. I was in playoffs in 2 fantasy leagues, and I played against him in both leagues. And if they didn't have him, I would have won both. If he would have scored 20 points, 20. Not one league was 41, one was 37. If he would have scored 20 points, which is good, I would have won both games.
Can we at least give him the offensive player of the year?
He may get Henry. I've got a new MVP for you. I'll tell you in a minute.
I know who you're going to talk.
I got a little something on this.
Yeah, Willie, go ahead.
So Derrick Henry rumbled for 215 yards and 2 scores, and the Titans 31-10 went over the Jags, as we know. So he left a trio of Hall of Famers in his wake as he set this NFL record of 4 career games with at least 200 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Who would those 3 be?
Barry Sanders.
Well, Barry actually tweeted out to him. So
Jim Brown,
Yes.
Gale Sayers,
Nope.
Earl Campbell,
Emmett Smith.
Ooh,
He played in San Diego.
LaDainian Tomlinson,
Yes, you are
Wow.
correct. You are
LT.
correct.
Did you see how Scott dominated all that? I didn't even give anybody else a chance. I was like this the whole time.
I'm sorry. Wait.
I was going to
get
say
the clickers out.
I'm
Come
clicking.
on, Willie.
I'm clicking.
I was going to say James Brown and Lawrence Taylor. You said LT, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guys I was going with.
James Brown, the
Couldn't get a
Godfather of
word in.
Soul.
Colts, Raiders, pretty big game. It was a good game for a while, and the Colts just got away from them, 44-27. On Monday, or actually that day, Paul Gunther, the defense coordinator, never got to the hot seat because he was fired.
He gone.
And an old name we all would know and love, me and Willie know and love him, Rod Marinelli will take over as DC now in L.A. Oh, I'm sorry, Las Vegas. Holy crap.
Jesus.
Las Vegas football team Raiders. What I don't know what's going on anymore.
How about a Fresca?
Colts win. Colts are a weird team, up and down. They're one of those teams you don't want to play in the playoffs. I don't think their defense is good and they can score. It's weird. They just one week they look like the Raiders' defense is struggling right now.
Maybe you do want to play them in the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe you do. You're right.
The Raiders are trying to find their way out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
right
Raiders.
now.
I feel bad, but hey, you know what? John Gruden still. I'm going to say no matter what happens. They are on the right course in Las Vegas.
God bless
what do you
you,
think?
Scotty.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. If John was sitting right here, what would he say to me?
I love you.
Okay.
It is still Phillip Rivers, though.
Jets, Seahawks. Seahawks right the ship 40-3. Russell Wilson 4 touchdowns, 286, I believe it was. Low, not a lot of yards, but just not. The game was the same way. It wasn't red zone much.
Are the Jets going to win one?
Oh man,
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Why bother at this point?
I don't know. I don't know. It's tough.
Who's their competition? Jacksonville? One win?
Jacksonville is.
Jacksonville, yeah.
Cincinnati's got 2.
And they all need quarterbacks.
Sunshine.
So they have the Rams, the Browns, and the Patriots for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they shouldn't win one of those games.
No.
Maybe the Patriots.
Maybe
Depends on the Patriots
Patriots.
going on. If they just say they're not in it, they might. Well, you'll never bench guys if you're not in it. So I think the
Belichick's not going to let that happen.
No. I think they're
Spoiler. They're going to wreck somebody's playoff chances.
The Browns.
Yeah, watch.
Nah, the Browns
that'll
are
be the
in.
game they win. Something
Because
like
I'm
that.
rooting for. See, I've just said I'm rooting for the Browns a little bit. They're going to lose. Whoever root for loses.
Yeah.
It turns to crap.
It's such a week-to-week league, too, because I listened
Not for long if you keep making calls like that.
Ooh, hey, now.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember the not for long NFL.
That was from Jerry Glanville.
Yeah.
On the
Right.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, just it's a week-to-week league because I'll listen. A lot of times I listen to the show the day of our show from the week before, and it's usually you, Scott, who's just hot on a team. This team is so good, it's so good, and then they lose that week, and I'm like, I can't wait to give Scott some shit, but then I never remember. But yeah, your guy, it was Michael too. When we interviewed Michael, he was talking about the Patriots, and you do not want to play the Patriots. You do not. And then they just put up a stinker this week.
I'm not talking anymore.
Well, the Jets only lost by 3 to the Patriots last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Falcons, Chargers.
Jets.
Yeah.
No.
We're gonna skip it. Although Herbert had another good game. Solid.
And they won.
Washington 49ers. They are a playoff team. The Redskins at 6-7. I believe they're going to finish 500 or better now.
Yeah.
500 at least. The Redskins will, and they're going to probably win. I don't want to jinx them. Probably win the division.
Now you root for the Giants.
Washington football team.
Yep.
You don't want to go to hell.
They have Seattle, Carolina. And
Watch the Cowboys. The Cowboys win it now.
Yeah. Steelers Bills, a great game
Dallas
on Sunday night.
football team.
Steelers have lost 2 in a row now. They can't find their offense for some reason, and the Bills are just another one of those teams, man. I don't know if I want to play them. I just think they're playing too good right now. I think a great AFC Championship game will be Bills Chiefs. It can happen. I think that'd be fun to watch. Yes, Willie.
There was one good thing to come out of that Steeler loss. They extended their streak of consecutive games with at least one sack to 70.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They broke a tie with the Buccaneers from 1999 to 2003 for that streak. So,
And if anybody noticed, the Steelers barely won that game right before, so they could easily have lost 3 games in a row now.
Yeah, who did they play that one? I know what you're talking about. I watched that. They barely won. They barely won a few games this year. I mean, you could say that about the Chiefs. You could say that about the Chiefs,
Every
though.
team's like that.
That was the game that got moved back or something, wasn't it?
Baltimore, 1914.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Baltimore's on a team right now that you don't want to play.
Tuesday
Baltimore's
game,
hot.
wasn't it, or something like that.
So we're going to go back to NFC North a little bit. Packers, Lions. Packers go to Detroit, and Detroit puts up another good effort. 31-24. Packers take over the number 1 seed in the NFC. Rodgers 4 touchdowns, 3 passing, 1 rushing, I believe it was. And, Packers win, and they are in control of their own destiny, and they win the NFC North in the same day. Willie?
I do have one thing. This is Rodgers' 5th career season with at least 40 touchdowns accounted for. No other player in NFL history has even had 4 such seasons.
Okay. And then the other game, Bears listed and still in playoff condition, so we're going to talk about them anyway.
Put them on the hot seat or no?
No, they won.
Oh,
36-7.
Yeah, it was a huge. That was a dominant win.
The big thing I saw this week, out of all 3 guys, that he was drafted after. He was drafted before he had the best game of all 3. So.
Yeah. Who would you rather have now?
Well, yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Watching that game right now, and I'm not saying any. Please, for the 7 listeners, don't write in.
Right, like our listeners can write.
Besides Mahomes, I think Deshaun Watson is becoming. He's a big number guy, but they don't win games, man. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
I think I want to say
he's Warren Moon.
Like we talked about the records. I mean, I think Trubisky and him are pretty tight. Number wise, I think he's got more touchdown passes, Watson, but winning and record and all that.
No, it's like games won. I think Watson's only got him by a couple now. And now Trubisky missed like 7 games this year.
And Watson was down. Don't get me wrong. Fuller wasn't there. I mean, their defense.
They're a train wreck.
Hopkins is gone.
David Johnson wasn't playing this week again.
Yeah,
so
rough.
I mean, it's.
Romeo Cornell's calling the offensive.
Cornell is terrible. I don't know. Once again, retreads in the NFL make me laugh.
Oh my god!
Why do you fire a coach midseason? Bill O'Brien, let him finish a year and then hire a new coach. I don't get it. Because what are you going to do? So Romeo Cornell, if they would have won like 5 in a row and they would have been, let's say they got to 9-7 and we're just missed the playoffs, are you going to hire him to be your head coach? No. Does it matter? We talked about this last week. No point of firing coaches midseason. It really isn't.
And if you're going to do it like midseason, hire like Emilio Estevez to come in. Well, something just said fun.
And here's the thing.
I didn't think of that.
The Rock.
Here's where
somebody stupid.
I'm going to use an example when you
Vin
should do
Diesel.
it. And I'll use the Bears because obviously I watch the Bears a lot. Okay, when they lost 3 in a row and they looked crappy, they were 5-4. If you want to fire them and let Pagano take over, that's when you do it.
Yeah.
You don't do it now when you probably have no shot. Your shots are. Here's why the Bears' shots are gone, because next 2 games are winnable. They are at Jacksonville, and they play Minnesota. Minnesota, then Jacksonville. So both winnable games. But they got to finish in Green Bay. Unless Green Bay's got it wrapped up, they're going to have to. The Packers will beat them.
Here's the funny thing that Willie just said, and Willie laughed when he said it. Romeo Cornell is calling the offensive plays.
Yeah, no,
Willie's cracking up. That's when you know your team is a dysfunctional team. Jesus, don't hire him as the head coach. Are you kidding me?
So I got the stats.
Yes.
For Watson and Trubisky. Watson actually played twice as many more games this year than. But we'll just look at percentages. Completion. Watson has them by 6%, 68.8 versus 62% completion. Touchdowns, he's got more than double, so he's 24-10. Touchdown percentage, though, they're tied at 6%. Interceptions, Trubisky actually has 1 less. Granted, he's got
less games.
Yeah. Watson's killing him though, so it's really not as close as you think it is.
No, we're talking about victories. It's
an eye test thing, and watching Watson play, and this is a big thing. And I didn't talk about with Lamar Jackson, but I'm going to say something that people are probably going to look at me like I'm crazy, but I don't think Lamar Jackson's that good. He gets the ball, drops back, heads down, he runs. That's going to go away eventually. It's good for this year, good for next year, maybe the year after. But eventually, you can't do that anymore. You have to be a quarterback. And he missed a lot of throws last night. Okay? There was a lot of throws he just overthrew. Then he had don't get me wrong, the game-winning drive was awesome and blah, blah, blah. They had the game-winning drive because they ran the ball pretty well last night.
Would you say they're almost like a wildcat offense pretty much?
Yeah, and he gets back, and right away, if you watch, and it could be just but Deshaun Watson is actually better at this, his eyes go down and he runs. There's no looking downfield still, where you have guys like that are good in the pocket that can use their feet, like a Rodgers that gets, or Josh Allen even, that get moving, and they're always heads always up. Even and I'm not, once again, even with Trubisky, he's not run a lot this year. He rolls, he's looking down the field still. Not that he's great at it, but that's the quarterback job. Your job is you put yourself in danger. So, like we were talking, I think the Ravens are a team that you want to play because they're so up and down. You make them on you just got to win 3 in a row to get a Super Bowl. That's all you have to do. It's not crazy. And if you get him when they're hot, but if he gets hurt in one of the games because he's doing this all the time, you have no chance.
Right?
No chance at all. I don't think. So I just think that, I don't know.
Well, it works for them because they have a good team. I mean, it's a balanced team, the Ravens.
Yeah, their defense last night.
Watson, it's not working because there's not a balanced team.
Yeah, you're right.
They're not a good team throughout.
And that's the thing. I mean, we'll see. I mean, Watson, I like Watson. I do like Watson. Yeah.
It's been a bad year.
Trade to the Bears next year. No.
You want to take Watson?
They won't trade him.
No.
I know. I'm just saying.
They
hypothetical world.
I don't know. I don't know. That'd be weird. I don't know. I mean, once
over
again,
what you got?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Hypothetical world, take all that out.
If hypothetical world, I'll take Aaron Rodgers.
No. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers. I'm saying they're
going to trade him next year, so I'll take
Watson.
him in a hypothetical world. Watson, I'd take Watson, but I watch him every day, and he sometimes. I mean, they're all the. I don't know.
Did you say they're all the same?
Yeah, a lot of them are.
When you start winning games, that's the difference in the whole thing. You talk about these quarterbacks that like to run all the time, and I mean, watching that Dolphin game, you were watching it, and even Mahomes' bad day is the best day for 90% of the guys.
Yeah,
well,
like Rodgers.
I don't think anybody is arguing that Mahomes is not great.
But
how about Tua?
308 yards.
How about Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts looks great so far.
But he only's thrown for 160 yards, just like Lamar.
He ran a ton. He took off a lot. And
Lamar threw for 163.
Tua and Hurts are.
The difference between here's the difference: Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is very athletic and not as probably fast as Jalen Hurts. I'm guessing, but the difference is when Jalen Hurts plays quarterback, he's playing, like I said, quarterbacks play. They move in the pocket, look for passes. They sit in the pocket sometimes looking to throw the ball because their job is to be a quarterback. When you want to be a running back, it sometimes takes away, but you win games that way.
Right.
I'm going out on a limb right now and saying it's a gimmick, the running quarterback thing still. It's going to last a few years until defenses are adjusted.
I mean, you look at
they're already adjusted.
Who was the last time? When Randall Cunningham was playing?
Michael Vick. Yeah.
But those guys was the last time when they won a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Name one Super Bowl besides. Name one legit running quarterback that's ever won a Super Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers.
No, he's not a running quarterback. And again, it's because
McNabb. He wasn't a running quarterback. He didn't win one, but he got there. Yeah. I would say the same thing with Patrick Mahomes. He won one, but he's not a running quarterback.
No, I
he
know what
runs
you're
when he needs
joking,
to.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying. There's not
run first.
You know why?
Andy Reid does not have run options in the playbook for Pat. Once in a great while, but not every 15.
Do you know why there's so many running quarterbacks? Because there's only one Joe Burrows every year or Herbert that comes out. There's only a couple.
What about Russ?
You've got to fill your roster.
I agree.
You've got to start somebody.
And I have no problem with taking. Once again, it's great. I'll take that if they're going to win games. I don't care how you do it. Let's win a game. I'm cheering for you every minute you do, but it's just
they're doing the best with what they have. Honestly,
yes.
I mean, we talked about this even like a few years ago. We were talking. It's like what happens when Brady, Breeze, Rodgers. I mean, there's a list of 10 of them. When they all retire, there's not enough guys to come in and replace them.
Good teams, though, they adapt what they got, and I think, I will flip
agree.
Back. The Ravens, when I said Lamar Jackson, whatever, but the Ravens changed their offense to
so did Arizona.
Lamar Jackson, Arizona did too, but Arizona,
Arizona had Rosen,
but they came in called Bobby Petrino.
Yeah,
so what should I do?
But they came in together, so I think the Cleve Kingsbury, he ran that air raid offense and where he coached Texas Tech. Where did he coach Kingsbury?
I think it was Texas Tech.
So he ran that offense, so it fit. But like John Harbaugh, I give him credit. He adapts. They adapt their team to it, and that's hard to do. Some guys and whatever. Like I said, I'll answer your question. I'll take whoever's gonna win fucking games.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit how they do it.
Yeah,
win games when you have a defense.
With what you have,
when you have a defense that if you keep them off the field, you could be a top 10 defense and win. Then I don't care how they do it. I don't care.
It's good coaching. You're taking what you have,
and
you're
making it what
winning
you need.
games. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get Drew Brees every year.
No, and if you did, that'd be cool.
It would be pretty cool.
So the Chiefs, Steelers, Bills, Titans, Browns, Colts, Dolphins are the top 7 teams right now. The 8, 9, and 10 are the Ravens, Raiders, and Patriots. And then in the NFC, the Packers, Saints, Rams, football team, Seahawks, Buccaneers, Cardinals. And you have the Vikings, Bears, Giants, and Eagles. Right now, the easiest schedule of those teams. Right now, you have the Rams, the Colts have the easiest schedules. And it's funny, the Rams are kind of a scam because they're saying the easiest by record because they played the Jets last game, or one of the games. But they still got to play Seahawks, Cardinals, so I don't think that's the easiest schedule. That's going to be a tough schedule. KC just has the Saints, and they get to finish up with the Chargers and Falcons. The Buccaneers probably have the easiest schedule. The Buccaneers will finish with Falcons, Lions. So I think that's 2-1. I believe that's 2-1. That gets them 10 wins, and I think that gets them in. I believe they'll be the last team in, and I think they'll take that. They'll be the team, not last team in, but they'll take a spot in the playoffs. Like I said, with the Bears and the Vikings, I think it comes down to, for the Bears, the Packers game. If they do get 5, I think the Packers beat them. The Packers, I think, have the road to finish the NFC to be the top seed, with their schedule only being Tennessee's their toughest game left in that schedule, and then they have the Bears and Panthers. Panthers is Saturday.
Do they bring in Love at any point?
No, Love hasn't dressed all year.
He's not dressed.
Is he hurt?
No.
They just didn't.
No, he can't even hold on to Aaron Jones' sunglasses.
Just don't dress. And then,
when she got him back, Oakley sent him another pair.
He's like Baker Mayfield. He lives at Lambeau Field.
and the Steelers have a tough schedule. They got the Colts and Browns left with the Bengals this week. So I think the Steelers might end up 13-3. Could be they will probably lose one more, I think, in there. If not, I think the Browns are kind of a team that you kind of root for, like we talked about. The Browns' schedule is looking not as easy as the other teams. They got Steelers and Steelers, Jets, and Giants. So I don't think the Giants are a pushover. But I just think that I think the power rankings, top 4 would be Saints, Packers. Still, I'm not going to change that. But I'm going to change the AFC. Last week I said Pittsburgh. I can't say Pittsburgh.
You said Chiefs and Bills.
Oh, I did say Chiefs Bills.
Yeah, and I now agree. I agree with you more this week than last week.
I'm not changing it then.
Yeah.
I'm not stepping. I thought I said.
I watched that Bills-Steelers game, and Bills looked very impressive.
I'm keeping the Bills and Chiefs, obviously. I'm keeping the Packers and Saints. I mean, Drew Brees comes back this week. I believe he'll be back, so we'll see how
I think
that
the Rams are inching closer.
The Rams will be in that conversation. They're going to get a home game, or a couple maybe, so they'll be top 4 in that. So anything about the playoffs that sticks out to you guys right now with the teams that are in the playoffs? MVP race, I think, is still Mahomes, Rodgers. I don't think anything changed there. The player, any comments on the playoff race right now? Anything you see, anybody that kind of stands out like, I don't know if I want to really mess with them. I don't know. I just think the Redskins, watching this week, I know he played this 49ers, their pass rush. Their
Chase Young is a special player, man. He's really good.
Yeah, so anything else you guys see in there?
I actually watched the Vikings game and part of the Packer game this week, and I hadn't watched a Packer game yet this year. That Rodgers guy's pretty freaking good.
That Rodgers guy.
That rookie Rodgers, he's pretty good.
He looks like he's in another league, though, compared to some of the quarterbacks I've seen. He does look really good.
Everybody, I'd like you to meet Ed.
Yeah. There's such a drop-off in like the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks, and then it just...
No, yeah. I mean, he like he said, he's running, looking down the field, and then he throws the ball like 88 miles an hour on a line. And you don't see other guys doing that. I mean, there's a few, but...
Devontae Adams is a special, very, very special player. I think he may be the most talented Packer receiver in history.
The other thing I noticed, he throws these guys back shoulder. There'll be a guy blanketing the receiver, and he'll still get him wide open just by the location he throws the ball. It's crazy compared to watching, say, the Arizona game or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Or that's my other 2 MVPs that won't win it, but I'm going to throw them in there. Is Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
They are 2 guys I think should be in the conversation.
Impressive,
Yeah, I think Devontae Adams is having a great year.
I heard somebody say that Devontae Adams is like a cheat code right now, and I'm guessing in Madden or something.
And Tariq Hill, there's
Hill just
so
has a
fast.
way of just being open. Like he's just so quick.
Well, fast on the end
Devontae's
arounds.
a strategy guy, and then he has the speed too. That ball he caught, and it's like, well, he could go, and then he just makes like a couple moves, and then it was like when in Fast and Furious when they turn on the NOS, it just and just gone. Yeah, they call it NOS.
It's nitrous oxide.
So they call it NOS. It says NOS on the. I've been watching all these movies with Jackson, and he's just gone. And I'm like, and he's gone up the middle. It's not like he had to go outside to beat these guys. He just whooped them right up the middle. I'm like,
so
wow.
Willie's on Zoom, like we talked about.
Oh, Willie's here.
Yeah.
Hey, Willie.
Any
Merry
comments
Christmas.
about the playoffs? I mean, me and you don't have anything to say about it, but
My Lions did get screwed out of the call last week against the Packers. We all know that.
Which call was that?
That ball was caught in the end zone. So think
Are
about
we talking
it.
10 years ago?
the Calvin Johnson call.
Yeah.
No, which one was it?
Anyways,
Which one was it? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know which one you're talking about either.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see it, Willie. I would give you.
Were you watching
full
recorded
backup.
games again?
What's that?
Were you watching recorded games again?
I might have been watching that VHS
Beta.
beta. Actually, going forward, let's say the Packers get the bye. How would you like to be that team to go up there and play them in December or January, where it's hopefully it's cold as
I'm going to
hell,
be
right?
honest. In the last few years, and I'm not taking anything away, but I don't think that scares anybody anymore. I think they just go play the weather. Because right now, the Packers have transformed back to their kind of what they were getting away from. They pass the ball a lot again. So they're going to throw the ball just as much as anybody else. They're not running. I don't know if you disagree. They're not running as much. Well, here's why I know. The Packers screwed me because I have Aaron Jones in 2 leagues, and he screwed the shit on me in these leagues because I took him in both leagues. I had a chance to take Devontae Adams or him, and I took Aaron Jones because I thought, well, he's going to get fed the ball, blah blah. And they really they've got away from the run,
like our touchdown only league, where Scott's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you haven't taken Aaron Jones. He had 20-some touchdowns last year. I take him. He's had like 3.
Well, am I wrong though?
No, you're.
Dude,
exactly. It's different.
You're the Packer fan. Are they not running the ball enough? Is it kind of worrying you a little bit? I understand. And their passing game is an extension of the run. I get it. They throw those quick sweeps and all. I get that. But does that worry you a little bit?
They're passing more. Does that worry me about going into the winter months with the playoffs?
Because they got to play in the same
No, because
weather.
I think they could turn it on, too. I think they could turn on the running game. I think they have good running backs. Jamal Williams is solid, and obviously Aaron Jones is a stud. I mean,
and they're fresh.
Yeah, they're going to be fair, and I think they've been preserving like Aaron Jones. They preserve him quite a bit. That could be a strategy right there.
Yeah, that's what I think they're doing.
Yeah,
actually.
Rodgers seems fired up this year about playing in the winter, playing in the cold weather, which you didn't hear that out of him in years past.
He's scared of losing his job.
Well, remember, Lambeau Field is heated. The field
is heated. Yeah.
So I mean, it's probably colder in the stands.
It's still
than it is
the
on
wind
the
whips through there. If it's a windy day, it's going to whip through.
They're
but
professionals.
Yeah, I mean, who's it's going? It may scare some of the older quarterbacks. Tom Brady, Drew Brees. That might be scary to them.
They're creaky bones
going to play in that cold weather. So
you talk like Aaron Rodgers is like 22 years old.
Well, he's younger than those two.
Yeah.
I just remember
well, the Saints won't
Blue
go there
Bears.
until the championship game. So if they both get there, I guess
they might not even show up.
Yeah, they would just
Taysom Hill.
The Packers.
Taysom Hill. He played. He's played in Lambeau.
Yeah.
He was on the Packers.
Yeah.
So our fantasy league.
Ooh. What happened there?
That old thing's still going on?
How come it's just the Benchwarmers?
So
that are in
the
playoffs?
4 Benchwarmers are going to the playoffs. Eric loves spandex. We'll play Gene's Stare towards the next card this week. And Lance Pants versus Eric's Shower Ninjas in round 1. Last week's scores. Let's see. I didn't even look at this because I actually beat Ed to get myself in the playoffs.
I rested a lot of my players.
Thank you, Ed.
Yeah,
Thanks
I didn't for playoffs.
Actually, that was a great. I have
Bye
Devontae
week.
Adams, AJ Brown, Patrick Mahomes. So that's pretty good. And Willie ended up Lance Pants beat Seaside Crackers, and Willie ended up big. Willie was big score this week by 2 points over me, 160. Yeah, Willie's upside down sheet worked this year. I like it.
It did. 7 wins in a row, guys.
Wow.
And Scott, I just want to let you know.
Nobody wants to
You play me this week?
Next week you got Derrick Henry again.
Oh,
that dude.
It's a good time to get him. He's not going to have 200-yard games in a row.
Oh, why would he have that?
You heard it here first.
Who do the Titans play this week, Willie? Do you even know? Please tell me someone that has a good defense.
It's like the Packers or
I
something.
decided I'm not going to
Texans
talk.
or Lions. That's what they play this week. So awesome. Well, I forfeit. I'm done.
The Lions.
Say the Lions.
Lions.
So our final so that's the playoff matchups in the league. Remember, winners division hosts the show sometime in probably we'll do it in February, March, April. I don't know. No, we'll figure it out. We'll get everybody in here or
Next
on Zoom
August,
or whatever. So real quick, let's head. Oh, sorry, Abby.
I would say it should be the next draft show. They should host
there
it.
you go.
Oh yeah, that could be next year if we remember.
We might not be around by then.
Yeah, we might.
Not after the
FCC might censor us by then.
Or another pandemic.
Well, let's real quick check out Jason's Sports Minute.
This is Basement Benchwarmers Sports Minute. University of Florida Gators basketball star Keontae Johnson is out of his medically induced coma, and doctors are running more tests as of Monday night. The Oregon Ducks are replacing the Washington Huskies in the Pac-12 championship game this weekend due to a recent COVID spread in the Huskies football program. The Cleveland Indians, not anymore. Over the past weekend, the Cleveland baseball team announced that they are dropping Indian as their nickname, and the search for a new name begins. The team announced later that they will keep the same name and the same uniforms for the 2021 season. And free agent Hunter Renfroe has signed a one-year deal with the Boston Red Sox on Monday. And the Panthers are hopeful that Christian McCaffrey will practice this week and be ready for his Saturday upcoming game against the Packers at Lambeau. This is Basement Benchwarmers Sports Minute.
So that was Jason's Sports Minute. McCaffrey's out, you're saying now?
Yeah, I heard that earlier today that he was out.
McCaffrey is out now.
Yeah.
The Indians we talked about, the scary scene with the Florida Gator basketball player this past week. Well wishes to him. He recovers.
Speaking of the Florida Gators, can I bring up the shoe toss?
No, I heard about that. Yeah.
LSU.
So yeah, they lost the game because of that, I think, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It really they screwed the pooch on that one.
So Willie, you know what they call that in the business? A segue. So I'm going to talk about the college football top 10.
oh,
nice.
hey, nice.
So we have Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson, Ohio State, top 4 right now in the playoffs. Texas A&M, Iowa State, Florida, Georgia, Cincinnati, Oklahoma. Other undefeateds outside the top 10. You have Coastal Carolina, and that is it. And has USC at 5-0. So real quick debate before I get to Edge Jeopardy. You think Ohio State should be in? So let's go to the story. So Ohio State, the rule was you had to have 6 games to play in the championship of your conference, or the Big Ten made that a rule. Well, they waived that rule. And my cynical feeling is that they waived the rule because they figured Ohio State can make us some money for our conference. So let's let them go. It's all about the kids, remember, though. And so what do you guys feel about that? And I'm not debating good, bad, up, whatever. But when you set rules, shouldn't you follow your own? It's an even better question. Would it upset you if Wisconsin was 5-0, Indiana was the team? Let's say Indiana would have beat Ohio State. Do you think the Big Ten would have done this? Because Wisconsin or Indiana would not have been included in that top 4.
Yeah,
I guarantee. Do you agree with this one bit?
No, because were these like mail-in votes that they?
I think Dominion voting machines did this. I'm not sure.
German. Yeah.
But I'm just asking. Do you think Wisconsin, or if Wisconsin was 5-0, Indiana, Northwestern, which they were close. I wish they would have went undefeated so we could have seen. So I wish they would have done this with Northwestern. They would change the rule, and Northwestern would have beat Ohio State, and nobody would have got into the Big Ten. That would have been hilarious.
Yeah,
because Northwestern would have been not got over Texas A&M or anybody. Probably, I'm guessing maybe they would have. But for guys, we're all on the Big Ten. What do you guys think about this?
Well, I think out of all those, I think maybe Wisconsin might have been in that exception, just like Ohio State was, just because Barry Alvarez is a big, he's a key role player within those committees. And but yeah, those other teams, no, absolutely not. I mean, it's kind of. It's like, yeah, let's just bend the rules because Ohio State is.
Well, I don't think it's Ohio State. I think it's because they make money.
They do. They make money, but they look like they're a force to be reckoned with this year. I think they're a very good team, so there's a legitimate chance for them to go into the Final Four and make some hay. And I think that's good for the Big Ten. That's why they bend the rule.
But they don't deserve it.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. And I have a hard time saying it. I'm married to an Ohio State Buckeye fan, and she doesn't listen to the podcast anyway. But, but yeah, I mean, it's the sense of entitlement, right, Willie? It's the entitlement right now, and Michigan gets it too. Michigan, if it was Michigan, I think Michigan would get in. I think they would bend that rule for Michigan because Michigan's an all-time classic.
Absolutely.
They're an all-time traditional powerhouse in the Big Ten.
But I think it's Ohio State because they've been so good for the last 10, 12 years.
Yeah, and
I think that's why they're doing it.
And if it's the eye test, you look at that team. That team could probably compete in the Final Four. They're very, very good.
They should be able to.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is I look at Kevin Warren. He's the Big Ten commissioner. He's barely been in this position for a year and a half, so he's pretty wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Right? You make rules, and you're all right. No, guys, what do you guys think? Should we change it, Barry? What do you think? I don't know.
I think Barry's going to be the Big Ten commissioner at some point. I think. Really, I think he is.
Yeah.
He's
or Biden.
What did I say? Yeah,
Kamala.
Actually, Obama might. He's been in everything. Netflix,
Kamala,
and he's been everywhere. But I said it earlier. Again, it's corporate America getting involved in shit because you're saying it's because of the money.
Yeah, it's money.
Is this all about money again? Yeah. Oh yeah, well we went Ohio State in no matter what.
Because you just went through the top 10
I'm for
teams.
socialism. Get rid of capitalism now.
Exactly. You take Ohio State out. Who's your team? A&M.
I don't know. I'd have to
you had A&M.
A&M is 5, so they would honestly.
It's not. I mean, A&M's a good program, but it's not as attractive as Ohio State. And I think if Clemson and Notre Dame they're going to play again this week, I think they're going to. Who knows? Maybe Clemson wins this time, but they deserve to be in.
But I believe the system. This is a system that is based on some computer stuff, algorithms, and votes by people. Mm-hmm. So this show you the true colors of voters, what they do when they actually look at this. Yeah. Will they go and say, Ohio State, they're always good. We're going to vote them. And so is this kind of showing true colors of the NCAA and what they're doing? It's not about, it's almost about reputation over what you're doing that year, maybe.
You're right. You're right.
I'm just saying, does that look like that to you guys? I don't know.
Yeah, it's favoritism.
It wasn't, more money.
More money.
Living color, remember?
More money, more problems.
More money.
More money, more problems.
Here's a nice thing for us all to root for this weekend is Northwestern to win.
Yeah, can we have a little guy for once? Why
He's
does it
just
always
a
have
little
to be?
guy?
Yeah, why can't
the Brainiacs beat the Buckeyes.
Pat Fitzgerald wins this game
and then takes over the
The
Bears.
Bear coach, right?
The Bear coach.
Bears.
So
there's been talk about Jimmy Harbaugh becoming the Lions coach. Can you believe that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Free press, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's right around he lives right down the road. Yeah. The easy commute. So it's that time of the show again. We're going to have to always wonder if we have to cut this out or not, but it's Edge shower stall time.
Everybody into the shower! Anybody in the shower in 10 seconds going to get fined $100! Larry!
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi,
Get in
5
there.
Mississippi,
Hurry it up.
6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi.
So I was sitting around bored this weekend, flipping between CNN, Fox News, and there was a Globetrotters game on NBC. And I realized something. The Globetrotters game is a metaphor for the entire state of politics in our great country. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but did you ever notice the Washington Generals have a loud, boisterous coach who is the leader of the team, but realizes he is up against insurmountable odds? A few of his players run the plays he draws up on the board, but most of the team just does their own thing. You root for them and you think they're giving it 100% out there on the court, but you realize they're just out there going through the motions. They nearly block some shots or, they almost get a steal, but they always come up just short. They'll put a few balls in the hoop for you just to keep it close, but they never make the big plays to win the game. Meanwhile, the Globetrotters are out there spinning the ball on their finger. They take 12 steps before setting a ladder in the middle of the court, and they jump off it to dunk one of the 3 balls that are in play. They're constantly playing keep away with the ball, and they seem to change the rules as the game goes on. Some would describe the scene as complete anarchy, despite the rigid rules that govern the game of basketball. The refs see all the shenanigans, but for some reason, they rarely blow a whistle. They stay pretty quiet and rarely make a substantial judgment that can change the game. And when they do blow the play dead, the Globetrotters just ignore it and go about their blatant cheating after bouncing the ball off the ref's head and then jumping off a Chinese-made trampoline for a 3-point dunk. Even though the Generals coach drew up great plays and has a great game plan, it doesn't matter. He's simply outnumbered. No matter what the coach does, the outcome of the game was predetermined. Just remember, the Generals players are only there to give the appearance of a fair game being played. They make the crowd believe they got their money's worth. And after the game is complete and the players have showered and the stadium is empty, the Generals, the refs, and the Globetrotters all get on the same bus and laugh about the hoax they just perpetrated on the fans while splitting up the fans' hard-earned money.
I thought that was great.
It was.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely staying on the show. That's awesome.
There might have been some undertones.
No, you waxed poetic.
Okay,
it was good. So are we ready for the Ed's going back to back for us tonight?
It's the Ed Power Hour.
It's the Ed Power Hour. So I got you an intro, Ed. Ready?
All right, cool.
It's that time of the show.
This is
Ed.
The production values are amazing.
Seamless.
Did Disney buy you out?
They will.
So I got a few Christmas ones here. I don't have many today.
Everybody got their pens ready?
All right.
Okay. Oh, you need a pen?
Yeah.
Glenn needs a pen.
Does Willie have a pen?
Willie, I'll click, you answer.
Does Willie have
Ed's
any
got a
idea?
can.
That's
just wait. Willie, just you got a bell. That's gonna be
bell.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
No, that's gonna kill us.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
all right. Out of every 10 people in the United States, how many celebrate Christmas? Scott.
What is 6?
That is incorrect. Eric?
What is 5?
No, it's more than that. Jesus.
What is 8?
Nope, still too low. 9 out of 10.
Oh,
Hey,
it's good to know.
So it.
Oh, Willie's trying to do scissors over there. He's gonna stab himself.
Oh, I thought that was his pacemaker.
Yippee-ki-yay,
All right.
motherfucker.
Another Christmas one. In 1847, this Christmas candy was created.
Click.
That was Scott again.
What is the candy cane?
That's correct.
That was kind of easy.
The year after.
I think Willie beat you out on that, though.
No, he did not.
Willie was actor at Factory when they made him.
It's getting closer. In 1848, the next year,
Yep.
Queen Victoria's husband, Prince Albert, started this Christmas tradition.
Hanging the stocking.
That is incorrect. Scott?
Decorating a tree.
It is
What is decorating a tree?
It is the Christmas tree. They had put them up before, but he made it famous, and it was put in the London newspaper.
Oh, I was going to say,
Damn
I like
Brits.
people asking who's in Prince Albert's can.
When Carrie
Pornhub?
When Carrie that too, I got some questions for that. Then it got really nuts. When Kerry Wood threw the most dominant game in Major League history in 1998, who was the catcher?
I watched that freaking. Who did that?
Who clicked?
It was Eric.
Who was Joe Girardi?
No.
I can see his face. Who is Scott Service?
That's not the face you were seeing.
That's not right. Dang it! I watched the special on this too.
Willie.
I have no idea.
Oh, I thought Sandy Martinez.
Oh yeah, a young Sandy Martinez.
Sandy,
a young Sandy Martinez.
Who's singing the 7th inning stretch at that game?
Bill Murray.
Close.
What is Bill Murray?
No, not that close.
No, it'd be who is Bill Murray.
I know. He could be a what too.
Yeah.
You're close to Bill Murray. I'm going to say
he's a big Cub fan again.
Who is John Cusack?
Oh, I thought you were going to get it. No.
Joan.
The guy from
it's the guy from
Jones's Sox.
Criminal Minds.
Oh, I was thinking the other guy. They're Jeff Garland, I was going to say, but I can see
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana.
Yeah.
No, Montana. Yeah, Montana.
Joe Montana. Okay, we're going to go back to Christmas because you guys had no clue on those. In 1870, the year of Willie's high school graduation, this president made Christmas an official holiday. Scott's got it.
It'd be who was Lyndon B. Johnson?
1870.
Oh, 1870. It was in 1970.
You were right at 1970, though.
I was like,
Who was Garfield?
No.
Who was? Oh, I can't answer again.
Scott, bring it in again.
Sorry.
What year again? 1870?
1870. Willie, remember he was on the wall at your high school.
Yeah.
Remember he played catcher when you pitched. That wasn't baseball either.
At Gettysburg, remember Willie?
U.S. Grant.
That's correct.
Oh, Willie!
The last one I don't have many. This president forbid Christmas trees in the White House.
Who is Obama?
No, he forbid Christians in the White House. No, it's not right.
Forbid Christmas trees in the White House.
Got to think about it.
Wow. There must be something going on, though.
No, this is his personal. Just remember who. His best friend was John Muir, or a good friend of his. Spent like 3 weeks with him out in Yosemite, just wandering around as the president.
Let's say Teddy.
Eric.
Who is Teddy Roosevelt?
No, you didn't answer in. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When you said John Muir, I was like, okay.
Teddy Band?
He didn't want Christmas trees because he's such a conservationalist. He just liked killing animals.
Well, that's what I mean. Because
he loved trees, but hated animals.
He hunted, but he kept trees.
Yeah, he wouldn't put a tree stand up there because it could damage the tree.
I don't know. You're better at this, but was he a Democrat?
No, he's a Republican.
That's surprising.
I think.
But there was a shift. That
it was the Bull Moose Party. I don't know what that was.
That was during the shift when they were more liberal then.
Yeah.
Well,
pretty crazy.
Doesn't surprise
Some weird questions there though.
That's it.
That's all I had for Christmas.
Is there any good ones?
All we had.
No, they were kind of boring.
So for this week's picks, here's what happened. Willie went 2-2. Ed went 3-1 with 2 bonuses. Willie had 2 bonuses also in his 2 wins.
He said bonus.
Eric went 2-2, and I went 2-2 also. Eric had a bonus. I had no bonuses. The Giants, Bengals failed Willie, but Chargers, Bills got him some upsets and some points. The Patriots failed Ed, but the Finns...
Playing
both.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
The Finns made Ed an honest man, and the Bears and Bills got him an extra point for winning and covering. Rams, Bills, good for Eric. Browns, Packers failed him, and for myself, the Giants and the Raiders failed me, but the Finns and Lions both came out covering their spreads.
Yeah, I took Scott's advice and took the Patriots because they were unbeatable.
He said
him and Michael said that.
He said came out.
Yeah. So right now, standings as we look into Week 15, Eric and Ed are tied at 28 wins each.
Yes.
Same exact record, but Eric holds the lead in points by 2. Myself and Willie are tied at 27 wins each, and I have 35 points tied with Eric, and Willie is in last with 33. But it's a tight race with 3 weeks left. Anything can happen. And the winner of this, I didn't tell you what the winner gets. You guys want to know what the winner gets?
Yeah.
Are you going to write us a song?
Jack shit. That's what you get. Because that's an old saying, right? Jack shit.
No, I think that's...
Don't we all get jack shit, though? Because it's...
very offensive.
Everybody gets jack shit.
Yeah. Jacks around the world are
You
offended.
couldn't, read us another...
I got one made next week. I'm going to have another one, maybe.
Well, for the winner, though, maybe...
I'll write you a poem if you win.
I would like that. A sonnet?
I'll write a haiku.
A haiku.
No, a limerick. Limericks are best.
Oh, limerick.
There was a man from Nantucket.
Better than a haiku.
Write him a shower stall. Sometimes those are pretty racy.
Yeah.
So let's start with Eric and his picks this week. Eric, start us off.
All right, I'm going to start with a upset, which will be the Washington football team with the 3.5 over Seattle. I'm going to take, sorry, Scott, the Vikings to cover against the Bears. I'm going to roll with Jalen Hurts and take Philly with the points, 6.5 over Arizona, or 6.5 points in their favor. And then I'm going to take Kansas City because they're going to just put a whooping on the breezeless New Orleans Saints.
Breeze is back.
No, he's not. He's not. They're not rushing him back for this game. They said.
Are you sure?
Either way, I'm good.
This would be the game he could have played last week, but this would be the game.
Either
way,
no matter what. Either way, I'm good with the Kansas City
This
Chiefs.
game could cost them the first seed. Mm-hmm. And the bye.
Which team?
If they lose, it
Which
will.
team?
Yeah, because the Packers are in line for it right now.
Which team could be? Are you saying it's going to cost
New Orleans?
them? Yeah,
not Kansas City.
Well, Kansas City only has a 1-game lead in the first. Yeah, so I'll stick with Kansas City on that. So there it is. There's your papers.
Jesus,
What's your name on it?
You're
You're
so
third grade.
So aggressive.
Well,
Ed,
I'm taking Buffalo and their 5.5 points over Denver. Miami, my favorite team to help me through here. 2.5 over New England. I've got an upset. I got Atlanta beating Tampa. It's only 3 points. And I got Cleveland covering the 3.5 over the Giants.
All right, here we go. I'm taking Tennessee. They're giving 8.5 over Detroit. Baltimore 12.5 over Jacksonville. I'm taking New England. They're getting 2.5. And I'm taking Philly. They're getting 6.5 over Arizona.
So Philly, your last one, huh?
Both those guys like Philly so far.
I'm going to take my first pick. I'm taking the Bears plus the 6.
I agree.
In Minnesota. I'm going to ride the Trubisky train for another week. I'm going to take...
And do a ditch.
Yeah,
How's that go?
True.
I'm going to take the Dolphins minus 2.5. I think Ed took that. I'm with Ed there. I'm going to take also the Saints. I'm going to take them getting the points. I believe Breeze is starting. And I'm going to take them to win that game. Or 3.5. It's going to be a close game. Doesn't have to win, but I'll take it. And my final pick, I'm going to take the Cleveland football team to beat the Giants, or with the minus 3.5. So I have to beat them.
That seems pretty low to me.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see.
I know the Giants are pretty.
I was riding the
solid.
Giants train. Now I'm against them now, so they'll win now for sure this week. So that's what I got there.
Well, Detroit might not even. What did they say about Stafford? Is he playing this week?
Stafford, yeah. Oh, yeah. His ribs are messed up. Oh, you know what?
That's.
Oh, I didn't take them anyway. So
no, Willie did because
Willie took Tennessee.
He knows Stafford personally.
Stafford might be out. Chase Daniel getting his start, maybe.
He drove Stafford's guitar to a repair shop in Grand Rapids.
So to wrap up our show tonight, we're gonna do our. We haven't done it in a while. We're gonna do
I do have the Voice winner, by the way.
The Voice.
Really?
I don't. Who won the Voice? Spoiler alert.
Cartelli.
Doesn't sound as good as me saying Willie's.
Who is this coach?
Blake? That's what I'm looking for. I think it was Blake. I think you're
Blake's
right.
got a winning streak going.
Blake. I think it's Balake.
Balake.
That was a lot to get to that stupid joke.
We've been sporadic about our top 10s, but we're going to do one again tonight. Here we go.
Willie.
Nope.
Wow, you are going to lose control.
Wow.
Jace, we're going to call it Jace. Bring in the writing.
Okay, we're going to do our top 10 now.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's tonight's top 10.
So this week's top 10 is gifts to buy for the Benchwarmers. So number 10 for Willie, Tapioca of the Month membership.
That's a gift that keeps giving all year round.
Yum. Hell yeah.
For Scott, Dominic the Donkey CD.
Yeah, he's probably already got one.
For Eric, a pair of extra small spandex.
Yeah, baby.
With the U.S. Postal Service logo.
I would say medium.
So things look bigger.
Wow.
Look. How like look.
Like these nuts.
For Ed,
Red Rider BB gun with a compass and the scope of this thing that tells time.
a shower curtain with a hole in it.
Hey, that's called a glory hole.
Waist high.
Another thing for Willie, a carbon fiber walker with Louis Vuitton tennis balls.
Those are good tennis balls, man.
For Glenn, a pair of dolphin PJs that make the dolphin sound when he walks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you guys don't remember what dolphin sound sounds like? I'll refresh
No, I
your memory. So when he walks, this is what it'll sound like through his whole house.
That's awesome. His wife will love it.
Yep. So that's what Glenn's getting. For Eric, a Giannis thong.
Oh, yeah. He'll like
Well,
that.
I'll go with my boxers.
Yep. Number 3, for Ed, camouflage flannel.
Camouflage flannel. I don't have that yet.
The gifts that keep on giving.
Get the first on your block.
Also, for Ed, for Willie, number 2.
Willie can't go number 2 without Mucinex.
Or prune juice.
Or prune juice.
An Adidas Medical Alert bracelet.
Oh, that's the best kind.
And number 1 answer for Jace, our dumpster boy, he gets a shirt with Scoopy chips in the pockets.
Wow.
You can earn those.
Wow, that was like pulling teeth.
Wow.
So once again, like we're finishing up. You guys have anything else? Anything we forgot? Blah, 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 blah.
I'm still crying from Scott's whole tribute to us. That was amazing.
It was the night before
Yeah.
podcast. That may in 50 years, some kids will be doing a podcast going, "This is the best thing I ever heard ever."
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Broadcast.
I doubt it. I doubt
Your
it.
grandkids going,
I doubt
here's
it.
Grandpa
I doubt it.
talking.
It
This
just
is our
it just shows you, and I
670
think
show, for Christ's sake.
on a serious note, this podcast has been a blast this year. It's been awesome to do, and I think Ed and Willie and Glenn would agree. It was a nice distraction. It was a lot of fun. So
I agree.
So we appreciate it, Scott. Thanks for bringing us
It's
in.
not a was, it's an is.
It's an is.
It's an is.
Well,
let's keep it going.
Thank you, Eric. But I hired 3 new guys for the new year. So take care. Glenn, you can stay your neighbor. So, Glenn's still in.
Why does Glenn get to be in?
Damn it! Right across the street.
Because he brings all the booze.
Actually, Glenn's one of the new guys. He hasn't told you guys yet. What a dick. He just sits there like he's your friend.
That's why he's printing up the shirts now. Just put his face.
Why? Just because he twerked tonight?
Oh, he sold it right there. Every week a free twerking from
Turducken. One of those two.
So
my God.
closing thoughts. We'll start with Glenn. We have one more show, so let's not get too sappy about Christmas. So, Glenn, any closing thoughts this week?
No, it's great. You know, as Eric was saying, this has been a great distraction. I thank you guys. You guys were a closer tit.
That's it.
I have nipples, Glenn. Would you like to milk me?
Nipple. What am I? I do that perfect. What am I saying? Nipple.
Closer knit group of people that welcomed me in.
Yes. Especially when you bring venison, summer sausage, and butter pecan shots.
I damn near killed Scott. He was mid-sip.
But thanks for the tit.
I almost spit my drink out all over the place.
Spit take.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right. It's my turn, I believe. And on a serious note, I just want
Areola?
to
Would you like to go next?
Your name's Mary, too?
No shit.
No, this is a true story. I just heard that Willie went to a nude beach, and he's so old they made him park in the handicap spot.
His balls only.
I just read that today.
Eric,
Actually, I wrote that.
You gave your
I think I just gave mine.
Willie,
I got
any closing
teary-eyed.
thoughts from your palatial estate?
It's like I said, it's a great time for what we've done here. You know, I can't believe would you say we're at 40? We're at 40?
40, yeah. Remember when you were 40, Willie? That was 72 years ago.
That's right. 12 more shows we got a year in, huh?
If you cut the trunk on this tree, there'd be 40 rings.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and it would,
I got your trunk right here.
That's like 2 rings.
And he would ooze Malort.
And so next week we'll be doing shots of Malort together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you can come over yet.
Christmas Malort.
There's a fresh
bottle. I'm bringing the bottle.
No, there's a fresh bottle here. Remember I brought it last week?
Yeah, don't bring a bottle. I got
Is that because everybody got their drinks?
So we can compare again.
Did everybody get their drinks? So now it's Malort for the last.
No, Scott has one.
Got to do
I got next week's drink.
That's right.
It's
It's
my
not
drink.
going to be Malort.
It's gonna
No,
be
it won't be Malort.
It's hot cocoa because
You
he's
know
such a
what? It was
Christmas
like
fan.
last week
Hot
when we
cocoa
had
and Malort.
that terrible drink at
Wrong Island?
Videos.
The Wrong Island?
Nice
I'm
to
not
meet
making
you.
that. So
Come on, man.
So my closing thoughts. Thanks, guys. It's been fun. We have one more show before the end of the year. Actually, no.
No, Christmas.
No, I'm sorry, Christmas. Before Christmas. The year is not over yet. So for Ed, Eric, Willie, and Glenn, who's here tonight with us, and myself, Scott. No, there's the bell. We are the Basement Benchwarmers podcast. To send you out tonight, we have a friend of the show, Adam Sandler, with his second song people don't know much about. I think some people do. So he had a second Hanukkah song. We are the Basement Benchwarmers podcast. Thanks again for listening. Stay healthy and wash your hands.
Time to take out the menorahs. Put on your yarmulke. It's time for Hanukkah. So much Hanukkah to celebrate Hanukkah. Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Instead of one day of presents, we get 8. When you feel like the only kid in town without a Christmas tree, here's a new list of people who are Jewish. Just like you and me. Winona Ryder drinks Manischewitz wine, then spins a dreidel with Ralph Lauren and Calvin Klein. Guess who gives and receives loads of Hanukkah toys? The girls from Baruch Assault and all three Beastie Boys. Lenny Kravitz is half Jewish, Courtney Love is half too. Put them together, what a funky, badass Jew! We got Harvey Keitel and Flash dancer Jennifer Beals. Yasmin Bleeth from Baywatch is Jewish, and yes, her boobs are real. Put on that yarmulke, Shabbat Hanukkah. Two-time Oscar winner Dustin Hoffman celebrates Hanukkah. O.J. Simpson, still not a Jew. But guess who is? The guy who does the voice for Scooby-Doo. Bob Dylan was born a Jew, then he wasn't, but now he's back. Mary Tyler Moore's husband is Jewish, 'cause we're pretty good in the sack. Guess who got bar mitzvahed on the PGA Tour? No, I'm not talking about Tiger Woods, I'm talking about Mr. Happy Gilmore. So many Jews are in the showbiz. Bruce Springsteen isn't Jewish, but my mother thinks he is. Tell Darul Hanukkah, it's time to celebrate Hanukkah. It's not pronounced Chanukah. The C is silent.